Here's Gianna Paul. Oh,
And
brilliant! Oh, that's superb! It gets better and better and better for Gianna Paul. What a morning! I said earlier, it's been the morning of her life. But what happens when the morning of your life goes into afternoon and gets even better? Personal best in the 100 hurdles, and now 3 personal best clearances in the high jump.
And technically, just a wonderful, wonderful execution. She gets the height, she arches her body well, and she kicks over. Brilliant execution by that young lady there who is having such a fantastic day.
Wow. Just wow. Third attempt for Gianna Paul. When you've put in the work and the moment arrives, great things can happen. And they are happening for Gianna Paul this morning in Grenada.
On your marks.
First event of CARIFTA 2024. The 100-meter hurdles for heptathlon girls. Gianna Paul, a 2-time medalist, goes in lane 4 for Trinidad and Tobago. She starts favorite in this one.
Set.
Off they go. And Paul got up quickly. Already shows her quality. The Bahamian Alia Evans is also going well. But Paul gets well clear of the field. This is what was expected. The Trinidad and Tobago athlete storms away to win the first heat. 14:58 the time on the clock. That will be a personal best. If it is wind legal, that's a fine start for Gianna Paul of Trinidad and Tobago.
And of course, the win allowance a little bit higher in the combined events, but an excellent start. You can see she's in great spirits. Gigi Paul starting the heptathlon on a high note. And speaking of high spirits, the Trinidadians, Trinbagonians in high spirits as well. She's got a little bit of color in her hair. She looks as though she may even be a little bit disappointed, Ricardo, in the time there. 14.60 is rounded to.
Yeah, 14.60 in Kingston. She started with 15.83 in the Bahamas last year. She started with 14.78. She continues to get better as she starts this campaign with 14.60.
Excellent start for her there. You see her getting out of the blocks cleanly and really taking the hurdles with great confidence. Obviously, in the combined events, you don't expect everybody to be a specialist in their various events, but she is looking very confident, very sharp, doesn't spend a lot of time in the air over the hurdles. You see her Trinidadian counterpart over in lane 2. Already a lot of time in the air. A lot of these athletes will spend a lot of time in the air, but she's very efficient and clean over the hurdles, showing her experience and showing her class.
Confirmation, Gianna Paul, 14.60, a personal best, negative 1.2 meters per second. The wind speed, Clementine Carais of Guadeloupe, 15.68 in second. Evans of the Bahamas, 15.93 in third. Robley of Trinidad and Tobago, fourth at 16.21. Kimika Smith of Jamaica, 16.38. Moline, 18.48. 19.01 for Descent of Grenada. And Reyes of St. Martin, 20.08, finishing in 8th position.
Fine start. A couple of field events are still going on in the combined events, the long jump open octathlon and the high jump heptathlon for boys and girls respectively.
There's Nastasia Fletcher of Jamaica, one of the favorites here, along with the Antiguan who we saw in the first heat of the under-17 girls 400 meters. Kezra Thomas, who finished 4th in the high jump for the Bahamas, is also in 400 qualifying here. She'll start in lane number 5. And Deschanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis won the bronze medal here last year in this event. She returns looking for another medal. There's the Bahamian Thomas. But Deschanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis, she is quite a talent, has only contested won 400 race this season, and it hasn't even been this year. It was in December last year. She ran 57.3, has run a few 200s and 800s to get herself prepared for the CARIFTA Games. But this should be interesting. First round, McIntosh of Grenada, Cassia Paul of St. Lucia, Marissa Thomas of Guyana, Nastasia Fletcher of Jamaica, Ezra Thomas of the Bahamas, Deschanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis, Tia Applewaite of Barbados, and Chrisan Williams of the Turks and Caicos Islands. There is Deschanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis. She goes in lane number 6. Not 100% sure as to what shape she comes in here in for the one lap. Did go 2:21 for 800 meters leading into this, so we'll see how that translates to the one lap event.
Ran 55.65 last year for that bronze. Has been working, as you said, on her speed endurance, and so it'll be interesting to see what she can produce this evening, assuming she makes it to the final. But first, she has to negotiate this preliminary round of the 400 and the 17 girls.
Nastasia Fletcher of Jamaica, the favorite for this section. Fastest in the field.
Sit. Stand up, please.
Break at the start for these young ladies. And he too. Semi-final round, essentially, of the under 17 girls 400 meters.
Fletcher in lane 4, second fastest in the field.
Which means the entire field is safe.
In fact, has gone under 54 seconds this season.
Yeah, twice at the Jamaican High School Championships leading into this, 53.91 and 53.98. So she comes in spanking form. There's always the issue of fatigue with a lot of the Jamaicans because of how hectic their high school championship is just a week before this.
And immediately preceded by CARIFTA trials.
Yes, which is tough as well.
Yes.
Fletcher is in lane number 4. The Guyanese Marissa Thomas is in lane 3, comes in here with a 59.01 clocking, so not lightning fast. She'll know that her countrywoman, Tiana Springer, won the under-17 event last year. Springer moves up to the under-20s this year, where she's expected to factor once more.
It'll be interesting to see what happens in those central lanes, especially with Ezra Thomas just having competed in the high jump. Just 14 years old this year. Left to be seen what she can produce. She's expected to be one of the contenders, certainly, for a medal in the 400. But first has to get out of this preliminary round after having just attempted the high jump and just missed out on a medal there.
The athletes in position for the second heat of the under-17 girls 400 meters. Emma McIntosh of Grenada, Cassia Paul of St. Lucia, Marissa Thomas of Guyana, the favorite, Nastasia Fletcher of Jamaica in 4, Ezra Thomas of the Bahamas in 5, Deschanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis in 6, Tia Applewaite of Barbados in 7, and Chrisan Williams of Turks and Caicos in lane number 8. Top 3 to advance automatically, plus the next 2 fastest. The times on the bubble, 58.55 and 59.40. Alexis Roberts of the Bahamas and Tesley Lesperis of St. Lucia.
Set.
Off they go for the second heat, semi-final round of the under-17 girls 400 meters. The Jamaican Nastasia Fletcher goes to work pretty early, already closing down on Thomas of the Bahamas, and that's the way they head down the back straight away, flying on the outside. Williams of the Turks and Caicos Islands, but it's Fletcher of Jamaica who has gone through the first 200 pretty quickly and is asking the rest of the field to chase Thomas of the Bahamas, Chanel Thomas of St. Kitts and Nevis also there as the Bahamian steps forward now to try and join the Jamaican Fletcher. Doing all their running in the second 200 of this one is Kazera Thomas of the Bahamas. Now putting in a kick down the home stretch is Nastasia Fletcher, but the Bahamian hanging on to her here. These two will be safely into the final as they battle for it, and it's Thomas of the Bahamas who gets there first. And that's a pretty quick time. That's 53.69. That will be a personal best for both athletes. That's terrific running in the opening round of the CARIFTA Games here. On the 17 girls 400 meters, 53.74, a spanking big personal best for Kezra Thomas of the Bahamas. And after the disappointment of not medaling in the high jump, she's taken it out on 400 qualifying.
It looks as though she will have taken the high jump as a bit of a warm-up because she came into this one looking really sharp. She would have seen Fletcher taking it out really quickly. Fletcher going through the first 200 in about 27 seconds. And then, as you can see here, she is clearly in the lead, but Kezra Thomas picking it up in the second half of that race. And really coming on gangbusters and heading down the straight. They're still a little bit behind, but a big, strong athlete. We talked about her power in the high jump. She's showing that same power here to finish off in very fine fashion, just ahead of Fletcher from Jamaica.
Yeah, almost took 2 seconds off her personal best, Kurt. That's quite a performance in the opening round.
Yes, a great performance, and it definitely leaves the question for the Jamaican athlete who were clearly favored.
Yeah, here we go. 53.74 for Thomas. Fletcher 53.82. Chanel Thomas 55.97 gets into the final as well. So does Marissa Thomas with 58.08, and at 58.56, Cassia Paul of St. Lucia just misses out on the final because it's 58.55 that will advance by Alexis Roberts of the Bahamas.
Oh yes, I was saying it's great to see that, you know, the Jamaican athlete was pushed.
I'm out in the field this morning.
High jump. Final for under 17 girls coming up.
Starting at just 1.45 meters. I believe that should be Johnson, Delora Johnson from the Cayman Islands. Or the British Virgin Islands, in fact.
Two athletes from the British Virgin Islands in this lineup. And there is Delora Johnson now from the Cayman Islands, a 1:55 jumper. She enters the competition quite early. The Jamaican Xavier Bernard coming off a big 183 effort in Kingston a week ago. She'll start favorite here for the gold medal. Tanique Vincent of Trinidad and Tobago has been over 170 before. She has decided not to contest the heptathlon this time around, so she does not have the work of 100-meter hurdles in her legs coming into this high jump final like she's had to deal with over the last few seasons. And the BVI has produced good high jumpers at the under 17 level on the girls' side in recent times as well, and they will also look for a medal here.
That was Danielle Clark, 15 years old. Now we get to see Kehlani Kwashi from the hometown Grenada.
Kwashi takes down the bar early stages of the high jump final for under 17 girls, the first final of CARIFTA 2024. 3 field event finals this morning, and this is the first of them with the shot put for under 17 girls to come and the javelin for under 17 boys as well. Kwashi will have to compose herself here and get ready to see if she can negotiate this height. The meet record 1.85 set by Akila Jones of Barbados. There's the lineup for the under 17 girls high jump. Big Art of Trinidad and Tobago, Orford of Barbados, Xavier Bernard of Jamaica, Alexandria Komalafe of the Bahamas, Tanique Vincent, Trinidad and Tobago, Kelani Kwashi of Grenada, Jamila Chambers of the British Virgin Islands, Kiezra Thomas of the Bahamas.
And Bernard, not just the favorite, Delora Johnson and Daniel Clark from the Cayman Islands and British Virgin Islands, respectively, rounding out the start list. But Bernard, not only the favorite for the gold, but should also threaten that meet record as well.
Here's Kwashi again in the high jump for under 17 girls, and this time she negotiates the height. That's good jumping, and she did the corrections necessary, and now she'll continue in the competition.
Well, Kurt Felix coaching the Grenada team. He is, of course, a very fine combined event athlete and very good at the vertical jumps as well. Delora Johnson, 15 years old, clearing the bar on her second attempt. A number of these girls won't come into the competition at this height. The likes of Bernard, perhaps Komolafe, Kiezra Thomas, Tanique Vincent. Such an interesting event, of course, the tactics involved, and of course wanting to be able to preserve your legs. The bar goes up by 5 centimeters, so they'll go up to 1.50. Everyone's still in it.
Next event on track will be the octathlon boys 100 meters. 15 competitors listed for this one, so they'll have 2 sections of the first event, the 100. The octathlon, as the name suggests, 8 events over 2 days, 4 events on day number 1. It's early days, but I suspect that will be good enough to get him into the final.
Always advantageous, though, for you to be able to run in the latter heats when you do have a qualification by time, because you know what your target is going into the next round.
Though it's probably better when you're running the 800 and the 1500 when you can pace yourself.
You can gauge it a little bit better.
Yeah, a lot more difficult at 400.
As we wait the start of our next event on the track, official results are in for discipline number 2 in the boys of Octathlon.
I rather suspect the officials will be hard at work during the break after the morning session, getting this starting pistol sorted out. I'm sure that we have smooth running this afternoon.
Second position goes to Rayvon Walking.
It's been very uncomfortable for the athletes throughout the course of the morning, starting in fact with the first event, the heptathlon girls 100-meter hurdles, where they would have had some issues with the blocks initially, and then we've had several problems with the gun.
On your marks.
So it looks as though we're ready to go again.
There's Javon Pinnock of Jamaica, fastest in the field at 46.84. He's the favorite for this second heat. His teammate Marcinia Rose already through.
Stand.
Javon Pinnock, like a few other Jamaicans you'll see over this weekend, no longer in the high school system back home. He works with the New Era Track Club, led by the husband of Elaine Thompson Hera, Darren Hera. And the Pinnock has gone quite well this season. There's also Javon Dunkley in the 100 meters, who is at elite performance, which is led by Ronaldo Walcott Walcott coaches both Shelley and Fraser Price and Elaine Thompson Hera.
Great to have options, and certainly that is the case for a number of young Jamaicans.
On
They
your
can
marks.
go into the club system in Jamaica, and go on to GC Foster, and of course many of them have the option to head over to the United States where there are a number of scholarships available.
The Barbadian Keshona Niles has done that as well, come across to Jamaica at the University of Technology. Off they go for this second heat in the under 20 boys 400. Simons of Bermuda in lane number 8 flew onto the blocks and is hammering the backstretch at this stage. He is really flying like a scared air on the outside. The Trini moving through as well beautifully is Lezama. 47.92 man. Pinnock takes his time to ease into battle as they make their way off the top bend. Pinnock of Jamaica, Lezama of Trinidad and Tobago, Del Pesh of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's the big three. Only the winner guaranteed a spot in the final. The Jamaican playing around, steps forward. It's going to be close at the line, but it's Pinnock who gets there first. 49.01, nowhere as close to as fast as what we got in the first heat. Pinnock qualifies automatically, and that means that the Grenadian Peterkin is still the fastest non-automatic qualifier with his 47.92 personal best. 49.08 for Javon Pinnock of Jamaica. He gets through qualifying.
Gardner, Clark, and Orville, however, may be a little bit frightened. Certainly, Clark and Orville, 49.71, 49.89. Pretty close for those athletes in 2, 3, and 4. We saw Lezama there, as well as Del Pesh and Theodore. Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia. Theodore looks as though he may just have pipped Del Pesh at the line. So those times are going to be interesting. 49.08, 49.71, 49.81 are the real bubble times, I would say. Ricardo, 47.92 should be, say, 49.13.
Yeah, 49.13 for Lezama. Del Pesh, 49.25.
Well, you're not seeing Theodore coming up on the results, but he was in that cluster at the end.
And Jaden Stapleton of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
4 heats in this one, so the top athletes in each heat will advance by position, and then the next 4 best times will also make it to the final.
Very little room for error. There is the favorite Marcinia Rose of Jamaica, 45.93 a week ago. 8 days to the day now.
Closest to your screen, 594 Jaden Stapleton from the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Could find the going really tough in this race. Comes in with a 55-second flat seat time.
And then, of course, he's out in lane 8, so he doesn't get to see much of what's taking place.
Tygan Peterkin of Grenada is expected to challenge for a spot in the final and will want to produce a big effort here. Maybe go sub 48 for the first time in his career. He'll have the push from this man.
Set.
Off they go. Oh, recall. That's interesting.
I think there may have been a little bit of an interruption from the high jump, which was taking place at the same time. An athlete was attempting a height in the heptathlon high jump, and that may have put the athletes and or the starter off. We'll see which it was. You see the athlete up at the top of your screen there just going over, and that elicited a response from the crowd. Can't quite make out what may have transpired as far as the actual start was concerned. No indication yet from the officials as they have a bit of a dialogue.
So the favorite, Marcinia Rose of Jamaica in 4. Tygan Peterkin. The Grenadian number 2 goes in lane 5. From Haiti, Sanson Orville starts in lane number 2. Grenada having a real nice build up to the CARIFTA games with CARIFTA trials in early March, then the Intercol Championships. That's their high school championship. Very vibrant high school championship here in Grenada, sponsored by KFC. Love the event. Great videos right across YouTube. If you haven't checked that out yet, you need to go and check it out. It is quite a vibe. The Grenadian High School Championship, Intercol.
On your marks.
So we did get a warning issued to Sir Carey in lane 7 from Bermuda. He remains in the blocks as they get set for heat 1 of event 13, the boys 400-meter dash under 20.
Set.
Heat 1 of 4. Marcinia Rose got up quickly. The Grenadian Peterkin also moved away well and closes down on Nikolai Clark of Barbados in lane number 6. Rose of Jamaica now easing down the back straight away with Peterkin of Grenada trying to keep pace. Nice run as well from Gardner of Antigua and Barbuda from lane number 3. They go through 200 meters. Rose, he has an easy, silky, smooth style. He is really a delight to watch. Very good at 200 meters as well. 20.79 there. He takes them down the home stretch. Peterkin of Grenada on the outside. The crowd liking the challenge from the Grenadian. Only the winner is short of a spot in the final. And that means the Jamaican has to put in a sprint to make him his spot safe. 47.69. That was a stroll, but it's a very good start. It might be a personal best for the Grenadian. He may have gone under 48 seconds for the first time, but it's the Jamaican who qualifies automatically for the final.
A little bit of a wry smile from him. He thought he had qualification sort of a lot earlier than turned out to be the case. 47.74 his time in this one. And we await the times for the Grenadian certainly should have been under 48. He was right on the heels of the young man from Jamaica, certainly in the latter stages of the race, if not at the end. See him there with a very fine challenge. He's presenting Peterkin, but more than equal to the task. Marcinia Rose just pulls away for the spot in the final. 47.74 his time, and Peterkin 47.92.
Yeah, Gardner 49.08 to finish in third position. 49.71 for Clark in fourth, with 49.89 for Orville. We'll watch those times along with the 52.74 that I doubt very much will be enough to make it through to the final. The winner plus the next 4 best times. By the way, just a quick correction. Intercol in Grenada sponsored by Republic Bank. Apologies. I don't know why Kurt Felix does. Nicole Bramwell of Jamaica, Shavana Nixon of the Bahamas, Kimmel Murray of Grenada, Dalen Scott of Bermuda, and Raven Black of the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Lane 4 certainly the one to watch. Aiden Moore, Barbados, Shavano Nixon of the Bahamas. In lane 3 and 5. They will try to stay within striking distance of Bramwell. But Bramwell certainly looks at the class of the field, defending champion.
47.86 to win the gold medal last year. Nicole Bramwell has gone as fast as 46.75 this year. That was in early January. He's in lane 4.
Set. Stand.
Long hold there. Could see the athletes
I think
getting
there may have
anxious.
been a fault with the gun, with a bit of clicking, as was the case with the girls 400 in heat 1. There appears to be an issue with the starting apparatus once again. So there's a green card coming out. The field is fine. We do this once more.
Of course, the multi-event athletes don't have to get too jittery in situations like that. They have 2 opportunities with this false start rule, Kurt.
Yes, definitely.
First of 2 semi-final races in the under-17 boys 400 meters.
Kimmel Murray on the screen there. Testing out the gun there. Seems to be fine once again.
On your marks.
Lewis, Trinidad and Tobago, Moore, Barbados, Bramwell, Jamaica, Nixon, Bahamas,
Set.
Murray, Grenada, Scott, Bermuda, Black, Turks and Caicos.
Stand.
Still an issue with the starting equipment.
The crowd is displeased, but I'm sure no more so than the athletes.
Well, the Bahamians are saying, fix that gun. Welcome to CARIFTA, folks. It's 2024. There's a buzz around the Kirani James Athletic Stadium.
Shavano Nixon from the Bahamas.
Yeah, he'll go in lane number 5. One thing I can tell you, so when you get to CARIFTA, you'll see a lot of the non-Jamaican athletes with pretty moderate seed times, but they peak for CARIFTA. So like we saw in the under-17 girls 400 meters, where Ezra Thomas almost took 2 seconds off her personal best, you'll see that quite a bit with the Bahamian athletes, with the Trinidadian athletes, even with some of the athletes from the Windwards and the Leeward Islands. They don't have as many competitions building up to this, and so this is the focus.
And certainly not as many competitions with the kind of crowd and the kind of atmosphere that you have at CARIFTA as they are off to a clean start.
Aiden Moore of Barbados flew out of the blocks. Already upon the favorite Nicole Bramwell of Jamaica, who has gone up pretty slowly here, will try to build up through the course of this 400. Kimmel Murray of Grenada, a 50.2 campaigner, is also going very well over the first 200. And Bramwell has eased himself up with the leading group, including Aiden Moore of Barbados. Moore of Barbados, Bramwell of Jamaica. The battle will be on for the 3rd automatic qualifying spot as the Jamaican eases further away into the straight, has a look around to his right and then to his left, just trying to ensure that he maintains his top 3 qualifying position. Bramwell is well clear as the Bahamian Nixon steps forward late. Moore gets 3rd for Barbados. It's 50.18, but it's as easy as you'll see in qualifying at any major event.
Walked across the line virtually, did Bramwell. Early challenge from Aiden Moore. An interesting situation, of course, in Barbados. They don't have or have not had a full synthetic track available for much of the year. They just recently resurfaced the Usain Bolt complex, but don't have the national stadium available. 50.23. Bramwell confirmed to have come across the line very comfortably and very easily.
Yeah, got the track in time for BSAC. Not at 100% capacity this year, BSAC, a little bit scaled down in terms of the numbers and the time. But the Barbadian athletes still here. They have found different ways. A few of them traveled to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to take part in their CARIFTA trials to get well-needed competition on a synthetic surface as Bramwell comes through qualifying comfortably here for Jamaica to advance to the under-17 boys 400 final. The favorite, the defending champion, one of the biggest favorites here at CARIFTA 2024, Nicole Bramwell. easing through his qualifying race.
Solid run, solid start from Bramwell, 50.23. Nixon coming in 50.39 more. Will qualify by position, 51.03. So 51.14 and 51.62. Those bubble positions.
Kimmel Murray of Grenada and Raven Black of Turks and Caicos Islands, as Bramwell, Nixon and more qualify automatically for the final later on today.
This morning, we've already seen a CARIFTA record going down today.
Yeah, let's have a look back at what happened in the octathlon boys long jump, led by Matthias of Guadeloupe with a best of 6.66 meters. Walking of the Turks and Caicos was second best with 6.57 meters. And the Bahamian Moxie Jr. 6.35 was third best in the octathlon boys long jump. Massive athlete, this one, built for the multi-events, and clearly still learning a few of these events, including the long jump, but he gets on to 6.35. But Matthias of Guadeloupe, the top performer there in the octathlon boys long jump. There is a confirmation of the top three. 6.66 for Matthias Serian, Raven Walkin, 6.57, and Kenny Moxie Jr., 6.35 meters. And as I told you earlier, that 6.66 worth 734 points for Serian of Guadeloupe. Jeremiah Francis of Trinidad and Tobago, Cale Lewis of Grenada, Osman Holt of Jamaica, Malik Evans, Turks and Caicos, Jose James, a returning bronze medalist from the Bahamas last year, the Bermudian, Mark Carey of the Bahamas, and Jamari Pemberton of the British Virgin Islands.
On your marks.
Usually you would rank the athletes in terms of their personal bests or their seed times. Seed performances in the event where you have to split them into heats. So this would be the lesser of the two heats in the Octathlon 100.
Osman Holt of Jamaica, just coming off the Jamaican High School Championships. Very difficult to do back-to-back multi-event competition. Yes. So this will be essentially 2 in 2 weeks for him. He won't be the only one, though. We'll tell you more about some others coming up in the second section.
Still some adjustments being made to the starting blocks.
Jose James of Bermuda also in this field. 6th in Kingston 2 years ago, James. And a significant improvement last year in the Bahamas. And if he has continued to improve, he comes here with an opportunity to challenge again for a medal. And maybe, who knows, even the gold medal. James will start in lane number 6.
Won the 1500 back in 2022 to close things out. A symbolic victory for him. Representing Bermuda Pacers Track Club. See him there in the middle.
Yes, very good at 1500 meters. The other end of the spectrum, the 100. That's where he starts. And he wants to have a good start. James is in lane number 6.
Set.
Off they go. Good start for the Grenadian. Holt of Jamaica is coming through now. Holt of Jamaica holding on to get the win. 11 seconds flat on the clock. Very good run from Marco Carey of the Bahamas, coming through late to take second position. But it's the Jamaican Osman Holt who takes the first section of the octathlon boys 100 meters.
11 seconds, a solid run from him. Of course, it all comes down to points. 11.08, they rounded to. So he takes that first heat and lays down a marker for the young men still to come. Marco Carey looks pleased with his effort. Still early days, of course, in the octathlon. 7 events are still to go. The young men will want to preserve their energy and ensure that they can produce across the board, but hold to with a very fine exhibition of sprinting there.
Representing the Bahamas, young bronze medalist at the 2023 CARIFTA Games,
Confirmation 11.08 for Holt of Jamaica, negative 1.0 meters per second. The wind speed. Marco Carey of the Bahamas 11.21, Jeremiah Francis of Trinidad and Tobago 11.41, Cale Lewis of Grenada 11.51, 11.80 for James of Bermuda, Malik Evans 11.98, and Jamari Pemberton 12.17.
And rounding out your field,
Yeah, maybe it's being introduced there for the shot put as you also get ready. Jamaica well represented in the stands.
9954.
The land of wood and water.
Event number 5, section 2.
Two Vincentians side by side in this one in lanes 5 and 6.
Lane number 2 representing Trinidad and Tobago, Darius
There's the
Moore.
lineup now for the second section. Raven Walkin of Turks and Caicos, Darius Moore of Trinidad and Tobago, Brian Isaac of Grenada, Kenny Moxie Jr. of the Bahamas, Jaheim Williams and Matthew Robinson, both of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Matthias Serin of Guadeloupe, and Jamard Huggins, the very talented Jamard Huggins of St. Kitts and Nevis, goes in lane number 8.
Matthew Robinson. Lane number 7.
Moxie, a lot expected of him. His father is an assistant coach with the Bahamas team. Also qualified for the pole vault at these games, but opted to focus on the octathlon. Bahamas, of course, very strong in pole vault as well. See Huggins there on screen from St. Kitts and Nevis, alongside Serin from Guadeloupe.
Jamard Huggins, a double bronze medalist in the under-17 category in Kingston at 110 hurdles and 400 hurdles. Did the octathlon at CARIFTA 2023 in the Bahamas, and with more experience, he's expecting to do well here. This is an event where he wants to have a really good start. If he is to medal at CARIFTA, he has to deliver big time in the 110 hurdles.
Stand.
Raven Walkin of the Turks and Caicos, he too is coming off
Stand, please.
the Jamaican High School Championships for Kingston College, where he won a silver medal in the decathlon. His older brother is a double CARIFTA bronze medalist in the throws from last year, shot put and discus at the under-20 level.
And the captain of the KC throws team as well.
And there you go. Very well spoken young man.
Says he hopes to make a big contribution down the road as an administrator or coach in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Yeah, I think he's going to be premier one day, to be honest.
I think so. He might be premier of the Caribbean at the rate he's going.
That's for sure. Second section of the octathlon, boys, 100 meters. Walkin in lane 1 for the Turks and Caicos. Moxie of the Bahamas is to be watched in 4. Huggins in 8 for St. Kitts and Nevis. And there's a jump from Darius Moore of Trinidad and Tobago. Fortunately for him, in the multi-events, the false start rule a little different from the regular events. And so he'll have another shot at it. No need to be too alarmed. And I was getting ahead of myself earlier when I said that Jamard Huggins needs a big start here, thinking about the heptathlon for the girls, not realizing that no hurdles in the way for the boys. And so it's 100 flat, but still one of his better events. And so he'll want to get away well. Moxie in 4 of the Bahamas is to be watched. Saw him in training yesterday over the hurdles. Looked really good. Looks primed for some big performances over the next 2 days.
Set.
Off they go. Walkin got up well in lane number 1 for the Turks and Caicos. Moxie has work to do coming through from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's Robinson. Moxie now coming through, but Walkin will get it from lane number 1. It's 11:23. Not as fast as we got from Osman Holt in the first section, but it's Walkin who takes section 2 for the Turks and Caicos.
Nice and easy, and Moxie in striking distance there. Walkin will be very pleased with his effort. Getting off to a very solid start here at the Kirani James Stadium.
Yeah, 11.26. That is 804 points. And that will put him in 3rd position overall at the end of this first event. Moxie looks in a little bit of pain there. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but here is Walkin getting a solid start to his octathlon campaign.
Yeah, doubled over there. Very evident discomfort was Moxie. Let's see if we see anything from the replay. Aside from Walkin getting off to a flyer. Moxie trying to stay within touching distance, and you can see him perhaps just grimacing as he comes across the line there. A little bit of something he's feeling, and then he gripped his midsection. So Walkin 11.26, Moxie 11.32, Robinson, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 11.42, Serin of Guadeloupe 11.64, Isaac 11.65 from Grenada, Moore 11.66 Trinidad and Tobago, Huggins 11.69, and Williams 11.71.
Which means it's officially a no jump. Next up, we've got the Bahamas.
Breakout athletes from Jamaica this year. Malik Nugent, he goes in lane number 4. Kenneth Nixon of Grenada in 1. Michael Vanderveer of St. Martin in 2. Shirkwan Joseph of St. Lucia in 3. Nugent of Jamaica in 4. Zion Sambo of Curacao in 5. Ezekiel Millington of Guyana 6. Javante Hurst of the U.S. Virgin Islands in 7. And Sameli Palamide of Guadeloupe goes in lane 8. Third and final semi-final heat in the under-17 boys 100 meters. There's Malik Nugent, has gone as fast as 10.52. Has been really consistent all year. And we'll hope to continue that consistency as we go through the lineup. Nixon of Grenada, Vanderveer of St. Martin, Joseph of St. Lucia. There is Joseph of St. Lucia. There's Malik Nugent, 10.52 twice this season at the CARIFTA trials and at the Jamaican High School Championships. Sambo from Curacao is a 10.63 performer. Great chance to get into the final. Once again, the center lanes will be the center of attraction, Terry.
Yeah, Sambo, of course, coming from Curacao, produced Chirandi Martina. We'll be looking forward to seeing him making it into the final of this event alongside Nugent.
Nugent in 4, Sambo in 5. 2 10-8 sprinters, Joseph of St. Lucia, Millington of Guyana in lanes 3 and 6. Third and final semi-final in the under-17 boys 100 meters.
Stand up.
Not the break at the start.
Go to that guy. Just go and tell him that he must. Just go and tell him.
More instructions coming through from Chief Starter Ludlow Watts.
Shaquan Joseph from
On your mark.
Soufriere in St. Lucia, home of the Pitons.
I gather you know a little bit about that.
It's a nice place to be. When you've established your vacation home in Grenada, you can pop over to St. Lucia for a visit.
How did you know that I was going to do that?
Have I let the cat out of the bag?
Set.
Off they go. Third and final semi-final. Joseph got away well for St. Lucia. Nugent gets into his running. Sambo of Curacao is going brilliantly, but Nugent steps ahead and wins the semi-final, brings Sambo along with him, and the two, Jamaica and Curacao, getting through to the final of the Under-17 Boys 100. That was a good semi-final race.
Yeah, it was, and the two of them clearly very well aware of one another, and they basically ran alongside each other all the way to the line. 10.89, the winning time in this one.
Yeah, Nugent didn't get away well. Joseph got up brilliantly. Sambo got up well. Sambo really hammering the first 70 or 80, but then the top end speed of Nugent kicking in, and the Sambo couldn't stay with the Jamaican, but knows he's done well to get into this final as Nugent, comfortable and easy, gets into the championship race. As we have a look at the times, 10.89 positive 0.0, 10.93 for Sambo, 11.24 for Van der Veer of St. Martin. That will not be good enough to get him through. So Curacao will actually have two in the final, with Laker, his 11.19 from the previous heat. And we also got a 10.92 from the first semi-final. Tiandre Frett of the British Virgin Islands will also be in the final later on.
So Wade Nugent, this one will see athletes from Haiti, the British Virgin Islands, the Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Curacao, Guyana, Turks and Caicos Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. On your screen right now, Everett Fraser of the Bahamas, now perhaps carrying the hopes of the Bahamas in this event.
Yeah, Mervyn Delpay of Haiti will go in lane number 1. Mario Carter of the British Virgin Islands in 2. Everett Fraser, the Bahamas in 3. Kadeem Chinapo of Trinidad and Tobago, I have a lot of time for him. Ramije DeWitt of Curacao, Scarlett Charles of Guyana, Dane St. Hilaire of Turks and Caicos, and Micah Dominique of the U.S. Virgin Islands in lane number 8. A first look at Kadeem Chinapo of Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of his times this season has been wind assisted, but there is no doubt that that young man is full of quality. He goes in lane 4 as we look at Fraser from the Bahamas in 3. Here's Chinapo.
Comes in with a time of 10.52.
Yeah, that 10.52, positive 3.5 meters per second. So a lot of help with that. And there's the Guyanese. Oh, they've looked brilliant today. Skylar Charles will fancy his chances here, has a 10.92 to his credit. And we know that most of the Guyanese have been running faster here at CARIFTA so far.
On your mark.
And if that trend continues, then expect him to be in the finalists. The top two who will be safe. Chinapo won't have things his own way. Won the sprint double at the Trinidad and Tobago trials. Told me yesterday he feels he's in the shape to go 10-4 here at CARIFTA. Here's the start of his journey. He goes in lane 4.
Set.
Off they go. Chinapo got away well. So too from the Bahamas, Fraser. Chinapo and Fraser right together. Now Chinapo steps ahead and wins the semi-final in 10.92. Did a lot of the work late in the race, but he got the job done nonetheless. And he qualifies for the final of the Under-17 Boys 100 meters. A returning finalist from last year, but this time around he has a genuine shot at a medal.
Yeah, he came through pretty easily, and we'll certainly be looking forward to improving on his performance in the final. We had a negative win in the first heat, minus 2.5. You see Chinapo there, a decent drive phase, holds it, maintains his acceleration, and just pulls away from Fraser going into the last phase of the race. has time for a quick glance over. We all know who made that famous.
10.96 for Chinapo, negative 1.4. Everett Fraser 11.06. And the wind of Curacao at 11.19 still has a chance of being in the final. That means officially last year's silver medalist Ishmael Roll of the Bahamas is out and cannot make the final. Seven, they're sent on their way. Wade of Jamaica got up well. Also moving well too is the Trinbagonian. He is flying and now Wade steps forward. Roll, last year's silver medalist, pulls up, and that's a big miss from the event. 10.66 for Wade. He qualifies to the final. The top two sure to be there later on, but we've had a big one. Ishmael Roll of the Bahamas, second last year to the Jamaican Tremaine Todd, and he's pulled up about 75 meters in, will not be in the final as Nyrone Wade goes through to take the win in 10.72.
Well, one just hopes that he's able to take further part in the games because he is an excellent competitor, and we would love to see more of him. At this stage, though, he didn't look as though he was going to be a principal challenger, really, for this heat. And it was fairly straightforward work for Nyrone Wade, winning this one, number 406.
Very good run from Cameron Powell of Trinidad and Tobago. I think he got the second automatic spot. Yes, he did.
Indeed.
Minus 2.5, 10.72 for Wade, 10.90 for Cameron Powell of Trinidad and Tobago. Those two are through. Teandre Frett, 10.92 for the British Virgin Islands. He has a real good shot of being there as well. And Ishmael Roll at 11.26. Well, I'll say he'll have to wait and see, but I'm not even sure he'll be in the state to compete in the final. 18 boys, 100 meters. .3 for the championship record. Dexter Lee of Jamaica in 2007. Here's the full lineup.
2 from Curacao, 2 from Trinidad and Tobago, 2 from Jamaica, Raminga, Leka de Wint, Curacao, Everett Fraser, Bahamas, Malik Nugent, Jamaica, Kadeem Chinapu, Trinidad and Tobago, Nyrone Wade, Jamaica, Cameron Nathaniel Powell, Trinidad and Tobago, Zion Sambo, Curacao, and Teandre Frett, British Virgin Islands.
Nyrone Wade of Jamaica, fastest in the field with a 10.43 personal best. His countryman Malik Nugent has gone well this campaign as well. They've had great battles over the season. 1-1 head-to-head. Wade winning their latest duel. Now they do it on the regional stage. Kadeem Chinapu, Trinidad and Tobago, has a shot at a medal. His countryman Powell will feel pretty confident coming into this as well. Final of the under-17 boys, 100 meters.
Lane 8, can you hear? Lane 7, can you hear? Lane 6, raise your hand if you can hear. Lane 1.
Ishmael Roll of the Bahamas, the silver medalist from last year, injured in qualifying, and his 11.26 wasn't good enough to get him through to this final. There's 198, DeWint Leka of Curacao, 11.19, qualified as a non-automatic finisher. He starts in lane number 1. The Bahamian, Everett Fraser, came through at 11.06 to get into this final. Malik Nugent, second fastest in the field on personal best at 10.52, 10.89 in qualifying for the Jamaican. There's Chinapo of Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of windy times this year, 10:52 windy. Says he feels he's in the shape to go 10-4 for the final. Nyron Wade has already gone 10-4, 10.43 seconds at his best. The Jamaican comes in here as favorite, starts in 5. Cameron Powell of Trinidad and Tobago, 10:90 in qualifying. Looked pretty good to me. There's a surprise medalist. I think it could be him. Zion Sambo of Curacao also looked good in qualifying. Beaten by Nugent. Think he has a little bit more left in him. And Tiandre Frett of the British Virgin Islands, 10:92 to get in. He starts in lane number 8.
On your marks.
Under 17 boys, 100 final.
Set.
Off they go. Brilliant start for Chinapo of Trinidad and Tobago. Nyron Wade of Jamaica going well. Chinapo and Wade. Chinapo behind Nyron Wade. Nugent gets bronze. Jamaica 1-3. The Trinbagonian gets silver. 10:40 on the clock downstairs. We await confirmation. Nyron Wade came in as favorite and he delivered big time under tremendous pressure from the Trinidad and Tobago athlete, Karim Chinapo. Now we await confirmation of the times. Wade at 10:43 equals his personal best. Chinapo has gotten a personal best, I'm sure. 10.59. It is a personal best for Karim Chinapo. That's the same time he ran to win the CARIFTA trials in Trinidad and Tobago, but then it was wind assisted.
Fine run there from Wade. Control the race all the way.
Confirmation of the bronze medalist Malik Nugent, 10.74. The Jamaicans 1-3. Nugent doesn't look too pleased. Nyron Wade never really smiles much, to be honest, but he's delighted. Here's another look at it.
You see there, Wade just seizing control about the halfway point. He ran a very controlled race, so was well within himself. Chinapo going hard, but Wade just running a very, very tightly controlled race and knowing exactly what it was he wanted to go out and execute.
10:43 for Nyron Wade, the champion. 10:59 for Chinapo of Trinidad and Tobago. And Malik Nugent, 10:74 to take bronze. Zion Sambo of Curacao finishing in 4th position with a best of 10.80 seconds. Let's head to Gerard Morrisili. He is still to come in the 100s for the under 20 boys. And Javon Dunkley of Jamaica at 10:23 didn't look bad in the first semi-final either. We're in for quite a treat, I think, in the under 20 boys 100 meters. And after 10:29 in a -1.0, I have to remind you that the championship record is 10.11. Johan Blake. There's the lineup for the 3rd semi-final. Jamar Saunders of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Dejon Francis of Bonaire. Carlos Brown, the reigning silver medalist from the Bahamas. Dylan Woodruff of Trinidad and Tobago. Lan Bezasine of Guadeloupe. Mehdi Jean-Lee of Martinique. And Jaden Jackson of the British Virgin Islands.
For semifinals, the winner of each heat will advance along with the next 4 best times.
Carlos Brown, the Bahamian, lane number 4, came to Kingston in 2022 with high hopes as a 16-year-old. Did not make it to the final. It was a massive disappointment. He said he worked for an entire year and last year picked up the silver medal. As we go from the inside, there is Brown.
10:40, his best time.
He's gone 10:37. That was last season. But based on what we've seen already in qualifying, may have to be in personal best form to have a shot at a medal. And there is a lot of quality coming up in the fourth and final
we have more to
semi-final.
come. Yes,
Yeah.
more to come.
On your marks.
I fully expect 3 to qualify from the fourth and final semi-final. So that should give you an idea of the quality that's coming up. I really do believe you have to win this semi-final. Woodruff of Trinidad and Tobago has gone 10:49, but that was wind assisted. Brown is the favorite in 4.
Right now, the bubble time 10.60, but I think that will change after this heat.
Away they go. Good start for Francis up on air. Carlos Brown getting into his running now. Brown inches ahead, tight behind him. That was pretty close at the line, I think, as Jean-Lee of Martinique, or was it Bizzacine? It was Bizzacine of Guadeloupe who came charging at the finish, but I think Carlos Brown just held on to get the win and advance automatically to the final. 10:90, not very fast at all, but as I said, I thought you had to win the semi-final because I didn't think that any non-automatic qualifiers would come from it. And at 10:90 for the winning time, no non-automatic qualifiers will come from this third and penultimate semi-final race.
Yeah, the competitive, yes, but not a lot of quality in this particular heat. Not the fastest of heats. And I think, as you say, heat 4, we should see some real battling going on. We should see some strong running. 10.90 for Brown, Ilan Bizzacine of Guadeloupe at 10.92, and Woodruff at 10.99 of Trinidad and Tobago. They will have completed their participation in this portion of the CARIFTA Games at this time.
Yeah, tough for the athletes in this semi-final, by the way, to be fair to them, because it was minus 3.6. So they're Mani and defending champion.
And everyone in this heat has gone under 10.80. You see the breeze picking up. Denver Tucker from Bermuda in lane 2. Devontae Howell of the Cayman Islands. He is going to go in lane 3. Watch out for him. Also watch out for Raheem Pinnock of Jamaica in lane 4. Johnny Daly, Antigua and Barbuda. Jahil Cornett of Guyana and Jaquan Pilgrim of Barbados.
Johnny Daly of Antigua and Barbuda, also at college in the United States. He's at Hines Community College in Mississippi. Started his outdoor campaign with a 10:43 clocking, a personal best, positive 2.0 meters per second, the wind speed on that performance.
On your marks.
So he's in fine form as well. The Jamaican Raheem Pinnock has a 10:40 personal best from last season, has gone 10:43 this year. Howell 10:54 this season, but just one race coming into this.
This should be a really competitive final heat, and very likely to knock those 2 young men at 10:60 out of contention for the finals.
Of course, if the wind behaves, don't want to see negative 3.6 again.
Set. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
The competitors being asked to stand at the start of this one. It's a cracking semi-final race in the under-20 boys 100 meters. 4 races at this stage for the under-20 boys. No qualifying heats for them this morning.
On your marks.
There's Raheem Pinnock. To think that DeAndre Daly, a 10:07 man, is still a junior, didn't compete at the CARIFTA trials in Jamaica this year, and then didn't make the final of the high school championship despite running 10.56. Pinnock got into that final. He's in 4. Daly 5. The defending champion Howell is in 3.
Set.
Off they go, quick gun. Howell got up well, so too did Pinnock. Johnny Daly just slightly behind and has work to do. It's Devontae Howell, the defending champion from the Cayman Islands. Daly comes finishing quickly. Powell has the field. Howell has the field, well beaten. The Caymanians look in spanking form. It's 10:31 on the clock. That was very impressive. And he says to his countryman Jaden Reed, he says to the Jamaican Javon Dunkley, I am still the champion. 10:35. That's a season's best.
Fine run from him. Did not take any prisoners, no nonsense mood. He came through pretty quickly, had a solid drive phase, came through in order to qualify to the final, knew that he needed to win the heat, did just that. Looks as though he probably still has a lot left in the tank there. No theatrics, no histrionics, just goes ahead and wins his heat, advance to the final in a fast time.
The defending champion has very much arrived. Positive 1.7, 10:35. Ajani Daly, 10:53. He'll get into the final. Pinnock at 10:66 will not get into the final. The Jamaican. So 2K Manians will be there. And for the third straight CARIFTA games, Ajani Daly of Antigua and Barbuda will be in the championship race as well.
Two Bahamians also advancing into the final of this event. So it's going to be a pretty interesting final.
Sylvester Grenada, Kyrell Thomas, Pinnock Jamaica, Austin Guyana, Rose Jamaica, Shepherd Bahamas. Could get another really fast time here. Don't think the record will be threatened, but sub 46 definitely on the cards. Pinnock, the Jamaica number 2 in 5. The favorite is in 7.
Stand.
And Malachi Austin has raised his hand after they went in the set position. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. He may get away with it here, but that's not allowed. Not after you have been given the set command. That hand needs to be raised before the set command comes. I thought he was going for the red for a second there.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I think the assistant starter nearly got a lecture from Dr. Irfan Ali there.
I'm grateful that we can be a little forgiving at the CARIFTA games.
Yes. Might not be the case at the highest level. I still think it's important for someone to explain that to him.
Absolutely.
Because if he does it elsewhere, he probably will say, but I got away with it at CARIFTA.
I assure you he won't be doing that again.
Ali and Pompey will have a talking to him. Final of the under-20 boys 400. Set. Off they go. Ooh. And the recall gone. I thought Javon Pinnock of Jamaica got away really quickly. Well, let's see what happens here.
Oh yeah, Keith Joseph saying that something's not quite right, the stadium announcer.
The fastest in qualifying, Malachi Austin of Guyana runs in lane number 6. He was the man who had his hand up first time. You can see from that shot, the Jamaican Pinnock looked to have been the first away. Let's see what the decision is here. The officials come together to have a discussion on this one. I don't know what you saw, Terry.
Well, I saw pretty much what you saw. Pinnock looked like he got out a little bit early.
Yeah, gets red. He can't believe it, but Javon Pinnock gets red. Disqualified for a false start in the under-20 boys 400 meters. In my opinion, he was definitely the first to get away. I can't say whether it was before or after the gun, but he was definitely the first to get away.
I'm hoping the officials looked at the centers because it was very close for me. Of course, I had my eyes on the Guyanese athlete, so I didn't even see him flinch whether it was before or after the gun, but hopefully that's something.
So he asked the question, third fastest under 20 athlete in the Caribbean this year has gone under 47 seconds.
46.84 at his best. I think he's probably asking for the reaction time. Here's a look at it. There was a slight twitch before the main movement. Of course, that may or may not mean something depending on whether the hands leave the ground. He is pleading his case. Let's see if he can convince the officials. I think they're saying, well, the reaction times that we have say that you false started. Maybe now he's asking to run on the protest.
Right. The body language of the official said that they've already made a decision. So that might be the next best thing.
Yeah, I don't think they want any of this, the officials.
Well, we said this morning when the starting apparatus was giving trouble that the starter certainly does not want to be the center of attention. And unfortunately, they are being drawn once again into the gaze of the camera.
Once again, the remaining competitors must dial in and focus as Javon Pinnock finally accepts his fate and walks away. Will not get a chance to run for a medal in the under-20 boys 400 final. As distraught as he might be, decision has been made, and that is that. The doctor can help cure a lot of things. I don't think this is one of them.
Unfortunately.
7 going in the under-20 boys 400 final now. Quick gun, and they are away. Marcinio Rose of Jamaica has gone out well in lane number 7. He is the favorite. He is the fastest in the field at 45.93. Also moving well, Thomas of Trinidad and Tobago down the back stretch. The Guyanese not quite into his running yet. Malachi Austin in lane number 6. Marcinio Rose in charge of the race. Kirill Thomas of Trinidad and Tobago coming through well. Rose in 7, steps on the accelerator down the stretch. Thomas chases, so too does the Guyanese. And it's the Guyanese who is coming through. Yes. Malachi Austin strikes gold.
The Commonwealth Youth Games silver medalist last year. He steps it up and he takes the race in almost exactly the same fashion as Tiana Springer, biding his time, running his own race, coming into it in the last 100 meters and taking gold here at the under-20 division against a highly favored Marcinio Rose.
The Guyanese have shot the Jamaicans in the under-20 division on both the girls and boys side. And it's Malachi Austin who comes up with a massive performance, 46.35. It's a lifetime best for him. Marcinio Rose has only run faster than that once in his career. And it was in the final of the Jamaican High School Championships just over a week ago. It's another medal for Grenada in the boys 400 series. It's Sylvester who gets bronze here at 46.93. And the crowd going wild for another fine Grenadian quarter-mile performance. But pride of place goes to Guyana tonight in the 400s, taking the under-20 titles on both the girls and boys sides.
Julian Edmonds, the coach, he runs with the Running Brave Club, and he is certainly running brave right here, coming into this final 50 meters.
If you've ever had the pleasure of hearing Coach Julian scream, that sound would be replaying in your mind right now because it's unforgettable. Almost identical race on both ends from our boy and girl under 20. Mr. Austin here coming through in the last 100 meters to run by the Jamaican. Of course, it's no good for my heart, but the end result is the same. 2 goals for Guyana. I couldn't be happier. Even our under 17 athletes didn't medal, of course, but both of them.
Yeah, did really well. Malachi Austin, 46.35 to snatch gold. Marcinio Rose, 46.59 for silver. Joshim Sylvester, 46.93 to take the bronze medal.
And you can see coming across there what it meant to the young man to be able to snatch that victory and to be able to set a new personal best mark in the 400. He's had experience on the big stage last year. His team, Tiana, part of that team as well as McPherson, took gold, historic gold at the Commonwealth Youth Games in the mixed 4x4.
Of Belize after his exploits last year in this category, and he returns in this division looking to go even better than he did a year ago.
Currently moving up is Myers. Looks to take the lead at this stage. So he's running very comfortably at the top of the pack. Myers of Belize, Love Joseph of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Jalen St. Louis, Grenada, Jaden Alexander, Trinidad and Tobago, Wendell Bade of Aruba, Ruben Roten, Martinique, Cameron Adkins, Bermuda, Sekani Brown, Jamaica, Gianluca Bortoli of Bermuda, Nian Davis of Dominica, Carlos Brisson, St. Martin, Shemar Green, Jamaica, Isaiah Alder, Trinidad and Tobago, and Adriel Mitchell of Grenada.
So Demetra Mars of Belize with the early lead in the under-17 boys, 1,500 meters. Mars won the double last year, the 1,500 and the 3,000. Returned to Belize to a hero's welcome. He was given a check and documents for a parcel of land. He's 1-3-4, running on the inside with the advantage in this race. Alongside him, Wendell Bade of Aruba, also having a pretty good run, and Bade goes to the front. Now, the defending champion has run 4:10 indoors. He is based in Pennsylvania, USA, and he's been given quite a run for his money here in the early stages of the 1,500 final for under 17 boys by Bade out of Aruba.
Bade, a very solid runner, goes 4:15. So he'll certainly come on with a strong challenge. Right now, though, the champion watches on, trying not to lose touch.
Bade really stepping up the tempo here, and the defending champion, Demetra Mars, is unable to go with him. In many ways, Bade is doing to Mars what he did to the field a year ago. This is highly impressive coming from the Aruban. And now maybe Mars is starting to respond.
He's taking the sting out of the field, but the question is how long he can maintain that kind of pace and hold on to that lead. It's sometimes wise for you to be able to sprint out ahead of the field if you can hold it. We've seen successful 1,500-meter runners do so, but as they take the bell here, it's going to be tough for him to hold on to that final 400, especially with people giving chase.
Bade has the advantage for Aruba. The Jamaican Shamar Green moves into the silver medal position. The defending champion, surprisingly, struggling in third position at this stage. Sekani Brown, the second Jamaican, holds fourth spot. This is quite a turn up in the 1,500 final for under 17 boys. Wendell Bade of Aruba, 200 meters to go. It's Shamar Green who will be chasing him. Demetra Mars is struggling badly here. He's in fourth position. Shamar Green senses that he can chase the Aruban, and he starts to do so. 110 meters to go. It is Bade of Aruba. Shamar Green of Jamaica steps forward. Sekani Brown, the second Jamaican, in third. I don't think Bade has anything left. He's looking around now, thinking about just silver. Shamar Green of Jamaica from nowhere comes through to win the under 7. Shockingly finishes in fifth position. That is the biggest shock on day one of the CARIFTA Games. He's run 4:10 indoors for the 1,500 meters, so it's not that he hasn't been in good shape this season. That is really shocking as Green of Jamaica lands gold.
Faded really badly, did Myers. Shamar Green, though, timed his run well. He held on in that chasing pack and never too flustered, never tried to get caught up with trying to chase the race. Just ran his own race and let it come to him. And did indeed at the end come to him with the young man from Aruba but trying to go out a little bit too hard and unable to hold on to the lead. Shamar Green, usually an advantage being able to run from behind, especially when you are right on the heels of the person you're chasing, as he was on this occasion, and able to see clear skies through to the finish.
I guess that is a lesson in learning to run your own race, because that's what Shamar Green did. Didn't get caught up with the fast early pace by the Aruban or by the defending champion Myers. And for a moment, I think he was running for silver or bronze. And then he realized with about 300 to go, oh my gosh,
It's there.
there's a chance.
It's there. And you let the race come to you sometimes.
And it has definitely come to Shamar Green as the Jamaicans win back-to-back gold medals. 1-2 in the under-17 girls, 1-3 in the under-17 boys. Let's head to Gerard Morrisili.
321 points. Harry Rodney. Currently sitting in 8th position, 296 points. Thanks, Ricardo, again.
Brown, silver medalist last year, is in fine form as well. So too Ajani Daly. He's in personal best shape of Antigua and Barbuda, with Amelia Bishop of Grenada going in lane number 8. What a final this is on paper. Terry finished there.
Brilliant way to close out the evening. The silver medalist from last year, the gold medalist from last year, the fastest man in the field, showing up to race, showing up to take on his competitors. 2 from Jamaica, or rather 1 from Jamaica, 2 from the Cayman Islands, 2 from Bahamas in this final. Should be a very, very interesting one. We see Grenada represented as well. So this is going to be a very, very interesting, very keenly contested final, I think. And certainly Dunkley will be pressed to take the gold this evening, with the 2 young men from the Cayman Islands running at or near the top of their game.
I thought Jaden Reed looked fantastic in qualifying. Truth is, so did Javon Dunkley.
They all three ran races that demonstrated how far they were ahead of the rest of the field. So I think those 3 really, Carlos Brown will try to get into the mix-up, but those 3, at least in qualifying, showed that they were class above the rest of the field, just in the way that they treated the competitors. They showed, hey, you know, that you guys are running, but I'm running. I'm running. So those 3 guys have already put their stamp on the competition so far. Javon Dunkley, Jamaica, Jaden Reed, Cayman Islands, and Devontae Howell of the Cayman Islands, the defending champion. They've looked very, very sharp.
Last year, I had the feeling going into the final that it was going to be Devontae Howell. I felt he looked the best in qualifying. This year, I think even more difficult to call, although I think Reed or Dunkley. Samuel Green of Grenada goes in lane number 1. Needed to run 10.60 to get into this final. Beside him in lane 2, Jeremiah Adderley, 10.53 in qualifying, very close to his lifetime best. He knows if he has to get a medal, he has to run a PB. Devontae Howell, 10.35, a season's best in qualifying. The defending champion at his best is 10.29, now at the University of Tennessee. This young man, 10.17 at his best, is coached by the same man who coaches Shelley and Fraser Price and Elaine Thompson Hira. Here is Jaden Reed, the former Jamaica College athlete out of Kingston, Jamaica, now at the LSU, Louisiana State University. Looked amazing in qualifying, the Caymanian junior record holder. Carlos Brown missed the final in 2022, returned last year at home in the Bahamas to secure silver. Can he find a way to get back among the medals this time around? Ajani Daly of Antigua and Barbuda, 8th and 4th in the last 2 finals. His teammate Giolina Downey has gotten her first medal. Can he somehow get his as well. And on the outside in lane number 8, the second Grenadian in the final, Amelia Bishop, coming in with a 10:59 clocking. The Grenadians inside extreme, outside extreme, lanes
On
1
your
and
marks.
8, with the principals in the middle. What a final we have here. Your guess is as good as mine. Final of the under 20 boys, 100 meters.
One way or another, should be a cracker.
Can Devontae Howell of the Cayman Islands defend this title? Will his teammate Jaden Reed finally step into his glory? How about Dunkley, a silver medalist in the 200 last year?
Set.
Off they go. Dunkley got up well. So too did Howell. Jaden Reed is running brilliantly. Howell steps ahead of the field. Devontae Howell is away from the rest and blows the field away. The defending champion repeats. And it wasn't even close. That looked stupendous.
Howell justifiably asked the crowd, "Are you not entertained?" And I think we are. That was a brilliant run there by that young man. A young man who is in absolute command of his circumstances.
Got very close to the championship record. He has definitely gotten the Caymanian junior record once the wind is legal, as we await confirmation. It's 10-1-5. He beats Jaden Reed, who I think got bronze, and beats Jaden Reed's Caymanian junior record as well. What a terrific performance. Jaden Reed, understandably, may be a little disappointed, but he celebrates with his teammate. Reed gets silver. 10:34. They now know it's a Caymanian 1-2. Wow. Season's best performance for Reed. No, actually went faster in qualifying. Javorn Dunkley, no doubt, disappointed, but he's been beaten by two terrific performances. 10:34 for the bronze, silver at 200 last year, bronze at 100 this time around. But Devontae Howell absolutely blew the field away, and maybe, just maybe, if he had been pushed, Johan Blake's 10-1-1 might have been gone tonight.
I think when he hit probably about the 90-meter mark, he realized that this thing was over, started gesturing to the crowd. There he is, way out in front. You see him pulling away from his teammate. There's daylight between himself and Reed in second, Dunkley in third. Run through that line there, and who knows?
How dare you doubt me? How dare you think it could be anyone else? Devontae Howell defends the 100 under 20 title. Sensational performance. Positive 0.5 meters per second. Devontae Howell, Caymanian under 20 record, 10.15. Jaden Reed, 10.34 to complete the Caymanian 1-2. And Javorn Dunkley of Jamaica, 10.34. A bit of trivia. Can you believe that Cayman won't have a 4x100 on the 20 boys team? Ajani Daly, the Antiguan, finishes fourth again. Gerard Marseille.
Junior national record holder, the other, the new national record holder for the Cayman Islands. His name, Devontae Howell, 10.15 seconds, finishing ahead of his teammate Jaden Reed, 10.34, and Devontae repeating as champion. You must be very, very happy about that.
Yes, sir. I'm very happy. But I'm even happier that we planned for the Quinella from last year. Unfortunately, he was sick. But now this year, for sure, we got the Quinella done. And that's what we've been working for.
Yeah, your celebration, though, it was almost as if you were telling your haters, why are you doubting me?
Because a lot of talk came into this. I only had a 10.5 season best before this. So I came in with low confidence. And then I also had a lot of people in my ear telling me that, oh, this person did this and this person did this. So it was more of like, I'm still here. I still had something to defend.
Yeah, let me go to Jaden now. Jaden, your teammate taking over from you, you getting the silver medal. How happy are you for him and for yourself?
To be honest with you, I'm very happy for him. Ever since I knew him, we've always been rivals, you know. We went to the same primary school, you know, we kept the link from there to now. And we always dreamed about this. We even dreamed to go to Olympics one day and, you know, get a 1-2 there. So yeah, I'm very proud of him, actually, very proud of him.
Yeah,
Talked about this for a while now.
What about your personal performance? How do you rate that?
I feel like I could have done better, to be honest with you. I didn't execute my race properly, but I'm still grateful to God because 2019 I didn't make the finals in under 17. 2022 came fourth. Last season I came sixth at the flu, and now I came and got the second. So I have nothing to complain about, you know.
Yeah, I want to get from both of you though. Finally, your thoughts on being 1-2 sprint champions, 100-meter champions for Cayman Islands.
Hey, it's something Cayman Islands has never done before, and as such a small country that most of the world doesn't even know about, it's honestly an amazing achievement.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing because most people don't know about our country and they don't know that we have talent here too. You know, everybody's focusing on the big countries like Bahamas, Jamaica, Trinidad, and a lot of props to you guys. Yeah. But we have talent too. You know, we wanted to come out here and show that.
Exactly. All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Congratulations to you once again, and yeah, basking in the new record.
Thank you. Thank
you. Ricardo, throw it back to you for now. Your thoughts, Terry's thoughts, what are they?
You know, my first thought, and Barbuda, Kadeem Larcher from St. Lucia in 3, Javorn Dunkley of Jamaica 4, Jeremiah Adderley of the Bahamas in 5, Aldred Nisbet of St. Kitts and Nevis in 6, Sanjay Weeks of Montserrat in 7, and Amelia Bishop of Grenada goes in lane number 8. There is 225. Amelia Bishop of Grenada, he gets a loud cheer from the crowd. They are hoping he can somehow sneak into this final. The favorite here, Javorn Dunkley of Jamaica, 10.17 at his best. That was last season, has gone 10.29 this year. Javorn Dunkley won silver in the under 20 200 meters last year, has left high school early to join the Elite Performance Track Club, led by Ronaldo Walcott, who incidentally coached him in high school at St. Elizabeth Technical. And so the transition has been seamless, since he's really enjoyed being part of the professional ranks and seeing some of the best athletes in the world, men and women, around him. Sent on their way. Oh, that was a really quick start from the Kittian. Nisbet, Dunkley now steps forward. Javorn Dunkley pulls away from the field. Terrific finish as well for Adderley of the Bahamas to get second position. But that was quite a performance from Javorn Dunkley. The 10.17 man gets through qualifying with a serious level of efficiency.
Dunkley, double medalist last year, took gold in the 4x1 and, of course, as you said, silver in the 200. Very efficient, very easy run, basically walked them down. Doesn't look thrilled with his time, perhaps.
It's 10.23, I don't know why.
You see him there just pulling away from everybody else. He's maintaining that clean running form. The levers working efficiently, has time to glance over, see what's happening with the clock. Good stride length, good stride frequency. 10.23 with a 1.5 meter per second wind.
Yeah, he looks primed for something here. Jeremiah Adderley, 10.53, just outside his 10.50 personal best for the Bahamas. Bishop at 10.59, Weeks at 10.60, Nicarda Clark at 10.61. Some really fast times. Larcher at 10.66. Very fast semi-final of the under 20 boys 100 meters, and that was 1 of 4. So only the winner guaranteed a spot in the final, plus the next 4 best on times. Spoke to him yesterday. The Caymanian said to me that he was sick last year, and he has returned this time around to get what he believes he should have gotten a year ago. Of course, this countryman, Devontae Howell, won the gold medal a year ago. And Jaden Reed now at the Louisiana State University, coming for redemption.
Louisiana State picking up a couple of additional recruits, in fact, from the Caribbean, Vincentian duo.
There is Reed.
Going down that list there, Jaden Reed, Cayman Islands, you see from Haiti, Miles Sasha Grandjean, Mikhail Bayer of Trinidad and Tobago, Nora Robinson of Bermuda, and Timothy Williams from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines, number 2 on a normal day. Note as well that I don't see Kia Davis of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the lineup for the under-20 boys 100 meters. We'll do a check on that because that's a big miss. It's been in fabulous form this season. St. Vincent and the Grenadines breaking national junior records at 200 meters, high school championship records in both sprints.
I think he was only included in the 200, where he set a national record 20.87. A lot of people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are a bit surprised that he wasn't in the 1 as well.
Off they go. Jaden Reed got up well. Has pressure on his inside. But Reed looks left, looks right, and moves away from the field. Oh, that's impressive.
Fine run from him. That is a brilliant, brilliant run. That's about as good a run as you can get at this level. Very good awareness of what's happening around him. Very good control of what he is able to produce. And he comes through the line 10.29 seconds. I think he's a lot happier than Dunkley was with that time.
That looks ominous, Terry.
Yes, I can run faster than that. That was a nice little warm-up.
Caymanian junior record holder at 10.25. Remember, previously trained in Jamaica at Jamaica College and has transitioned to Louisiana State University. A couple of believe Demetra Mars is not about the time. Belmopan stands at attention tonight for this Belize athlete. He's their young hero. Philadelphia-based middle distance runner, charging through on the CARIFTA scene again. A double gold medal winner a year ago. Disappointment in the 1500 meters last night, but like a true champion, he has returned with a vengeance. And now is putting on a show in the 3000 meters. He will be outside 9 minutes. Could have been inside if he wanted to. Demetra Myers defends his 3000 under 17 boys title and wins gold for Belize for the first time at these CARIFTA Games in St. George's, Grenada.
Well, when you're celebrating pretty much the entire final lap with everyone in the stadium, it's not very likely that you're going to be able to run at your utmost best, but he didn't need to. He was well ahead of Bede. Bede will leave the CARIFTA game with 2 silver medals, 1500 and 3000 meters.
9:05.86, the winning time for Demetra Myers of Belize. Wendell Bede of Aruba gets the silver medal, as Terry pointed out, his second silver medal of the 2024 CARIFTA Games after 1500 second behind the Jamaican Shamar Green on Saturday night. And it's a bronze for Trinidad and Tobago in this 3000 open. I wondered how Demetra Myers would return after last night. I really would love to hear his assessment, and I'm sure we will when Gerard Morris-Sealy speaks with him, of what happened last night, or his explanation of what happened last night.
We're sending Gerard into long distance now.
He might get a real sweat. There's your champion.
Repeat champion will step up to the 5,000 next year, as will most of these young men. Bede taking the silver medal, his second silver of these games, and Alder, who ran this last year and was sixth in 2023 in the Bahamas. He takes the bronze for Trinidad and Tobago.
Here's Gerard. He has another Grenadian great.
Yeah, great multi-event athlete himself. Lyndon Victor has joined me, the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, capturing the bronze medal in the decathlon in that event. And Lyndon is joining me now. Lyndon, you have CARIFTA experience. What was that like for you as a young athlete coming up through the ranks?
First off, thank you for having me. Thank you, Sportsmax, for being here. I know that the Grenadian public, you know, they're enjoying the coverage. So so thank you for being here. My CARIFTA experience, well, it wasn't always the best. You know, my first couple of years, I didn't do very good, but you know, I stuck to it and I stuck to my training and I trusted my coaches at the time. And my last year under 20, I won the heptathlon. So I think my story is a story of perseverance. And you know, not if you don't win a medal your first CARIFTA, your second CARIFTA, but you know, it might be your last CARIFTA where you actually strike gold and propel you to be an Olympian and other things like that.
Yeah, just for our viewers to understand exactly how much of a task on the body is it to complete 10 events at such a high level?
Well, I always say this. I feel like 10 different men beat me up when I'm done, when I'm done with the decathlon. Like Anderson says when he's done with the javelin, or so he is. So I tell him like at 10 times of the soreness when it comes to the decathlon. I mean, like, but the decathlon doesn't even challenge you physically; it also challenges you mentally as well. You know, when an event doesn't go good, how do you bounce back from that? Or when an event goes really, really well, you still have to stay level-headed because you probably got 9 more events to go. So I think the decathlon is a beast that not only challenges you physically but also mentally, and that's the beauty of the sport.
Yeah, you were given a chance to take in some of the octathlon events this evening. How impressed were you with the boys' performance?
Oh, I mean, the future of the decathlon in the Caribbean is bright. The guys are competing really, really well. Way better than when I was competing at that age. And I was really impressed with some of the maturity of the athletes. You know, they look like they've been there. The decathlon is something that it takes years to master and to get a groove for and get a feel for. But some of the athletes, they actually look like, you know, I see them eating between events, and I see the way that they're carrying out themselves between events, and that shows a lot of maturity, especially for such young athletes. And I think the Caribbean is a place where we don't really focus on the multi events, but I think that it's a niche that we can really dominate, because I know for Grenada in particular, a lot of the athletes, they do a lot of events to help their school win points.
Yeah.
And it becomes so natural doing 5 events and 6 events that I think we can really show our dominance in the multi events, not just the decathlon, but also the heptathlon, because we already do so much events. Like Kirani knows how to throw the javelin. Like Anderson is a fast sprinter. So I think Grenada in particular, we really breed multi events.
Yeah, and I can't let you go without asking you if you will be in Paris for the Olympics this year.
Yeah, I mean, I already have the standard, and coming off the World Championship bronze, I think there's expectations now going into the Olympics. But training has been going good, and I'm excited for. It's my 3rd Olympics. So I'm hoping that the 3rd time is the charm, you know, and I can bring home a medal for my country and for the Caribbean.
Yeah, we'll be rooting you on. Thank you so much for joining us, Lyndon.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's Lyndon Victor there, and let's head back upstairs now to our commentary team.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gerard Marsili. I have a better idea, Gerard. Instead of us doing a hurdles race, let's do a half decathlon. 5 events.
Over one day.
Yes. 100 shot put, 400 javelin throw, and the 1500. How does that sound?
Sounds fantastic from a spectator's point of view. Chavez Penn getting his gold medal.
2.13 meters. Stopped after that. A little bit surprised because the world under 20 championship qualifying mark is 2.15 meters. So 2 centimeters away from that, and said though he was thinking about the triple jump for tomorrow's final day. I probably would have been thinking about getting that qualifying standard. It's not easy, and when you're having a good night, you might as well go for it. Now the heptathlon for girls. What an event this was. A tie for the gold medal. I don't think this has ever happened in the history of the CARIFTA Games. The bronze medal going to Evans of the Bahamas. Let's save a moment for Trinidad and Tobago's Gianna Paul. Led this competition up until the 200 meters last night when injury struck. And Jehu Gordon confirming to us this morning that they would not risk her long-term future for a CARIFTA Games medal. Really smart decision. Here's Carayas. Bronze last year.
I think she's trying to figure out what's going on, and so there you go.
Yes, you're sharing the gold medal.
You want the young lady to be able to have a moment.
I really hope they had extra gold medals.
Absolutely.
Because if they didn't, they're probably scrambling to make a few for tomorrow.
Gold medalist Jamaica Smith, Jamaica.
2 gold medalists in the heptathlon open for girls.
We've seen more of double gold medalists in recent years, particularly in the vertical jumps, where we've had a couple of shared gold medals at the Tokyo Olympics in the high jump, men's high jump.
Yeah, Barshim and the Italian
Tamberi.
Oh, one of my favorites. What an exciting guy to watch.
You like him with or without hair?
On both sides or one side?
Very unique character, Tamberi. And then, of course, more recently, last year at World Championships, we saw the pole vault gold being shared.
Yeah, historic moment here at the CARIFTA Games as the heptathlon ladies step away. Now we have a look at what happened in the octathlon. We hadn't gotten confirmation. Saran of French Guiana actually came through to take the bronze.
Yes. That run, I think, would have been critical in helping him get that medal.
How about Jamard Huggins? That 1500 performance, coupled with his outstanding effort in the high jump, propelling him to a silver medal. Wow, what a finish for this young man. What a second day. I think he started day 2 in about 10th place.
Basically just stayed in striking distance. There was never really there and thereabouts, but was never entirely out of it.
And Moxie Jr., the most consistent performer throughout the 2 days, landing the gold medal.
NACAC under 18 champion.
That explained the smile and the flag from Jamard Huggins earlier. 400 hurdles, 110 hurdles, bronze medalist at the under 17 level 2 years ago. Now he is an octathlon silver medalist. 3 deserving men. Young men.
They've been through it these past 2 days. Now they can go have a nice long sleep. I don't think you can wake these guys up before midday tomorrow.
Let's get back to Gerard Morrisili.
Thank you so much, Ricardo. I enjoyed the conversations that you're having upstairs, but yeah, right now I have both the winners for the under 17 at 3,000 meters with me. Kate Dean is with me. She's here for Jamaica, and Dimitri is alongside her, and I have both of them here with me. Jamaica and Belize, respectively. Katie, let me start with you. How do you feel to have won the gold medal in this event for a second time, defending your crown successfully?
Well, it's a great feeling. I win last year and I come back this year and I win and I come with a better time. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah, what time were you actually aiming for? Did you achieve it?
Well, the aim was come out here and get a PB and I did so. So I'm very grateful for that.
Awesome. Dimitri, let me ask you now. You redeemed yourself tremendously in the 3,000 meters. How happy are you to have won?
I'm ecstatic that I'm able to do this. It's like a dream come true.
Yeah, just for some context though, what exactly happened in the 1,500 meters yesterday?
I'm not really sure, but I wish I would have done a lot better. I just feel like I wasn't in the moment and prepared for it, and the results showed. But I was able to come back today in the 3,000 and do better.
Yeah, or what's it like now to win another gold for Belize? You did say you want to put your sport on the map in your country. Is this a step towards making it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, how does it feel for you?
Feels amazing.
Amazing. All right. Well, Kadeen, for you now, winning a gold medal is nothing, that is comes without hard work. Just how hard have you been working throughout the season to make sure you achieve this?
So I work very hard and the results show. So I'm very grateful for this.
Congratulations to you
Thank
both.
you.
Back to you, Ricardo and Terry.
Yeah, I'm not sure Dimitri Myers really knows what happened last night either in the 1,500 meters. That will remain a mystery.
So he just was not in the moment.
That's an important thing, Sometimes you can get ahead of yourself in competition. You know you're in great shape and you think it's just going to happen and you forget to do those little things that can make the difference, and you find yourself in battle and it's not going the way you want it to and you just can't get out of it. It's like jumping into quicksand.
Introductions for these young ladies in the 4x100 meter relay. Under 17.
Only the relay finals to come,
including the mixed 4x4.
Yeah, this one was scheduled for 6:45 local time, 7:15 now, so they are half an hour behind.
Turks and Caicos Islands will go in lane 1. A number of the teams here will use this CARIFTA to get experience for their young athletes in running the relays. And of course to blood some of their younger athletes as well.
For the first time at these CARIFTA games, we have relay action. No qualifying at 4x1, and so we go directly to the finals. We start with the under 17 girls event. Record held by Jamaica, 44.95, set in 2018. Here's the lineup. The first leg runners take center stage. Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, British Virgin Islands, and Bermuda. The Jamaicans will start in lane number 4. They have Malaya Duncan on the opening leg. St. Kitts and Nevis in 6 with Kimia Phipps starting off for them. There's Duncan, the Jamaican leadoff. Kylie Wallace starting things off for the Bahamas in lane number 2.
One assumes that Kiesra Thomas is likely to figure heavily for the Bahamas. But of course, the team to beat will be Jamaica.
Shira Stout will be the leadoff runner for the British Virgin Islands. The Bahamians expected to have Thomas on the team, also the 400 hurdles silver medalist Dominic Dean. The Jamaicans do start favorites though. Tremendous depth they have. Final of the 4x100 for under 17 girls. Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, British Virgin Islands, and Bermuda. Final of the under 17 girls 4x100. First relay action of CARIFTA 2024.
Egypt Benjamin, the leadoff for Grenada. Kelandi King for the Turks and Caicos Islands. TCI in 1. Grenada in 5.
Has had a lot of running, Regis, at these championships so far. Let's see if she can put her team in a good position from the opening leg. Duncan for Jamaica in 4. Wallace for the Bahamas in 2. Off they go. 4x100 final on the 17 girls. Fine start for Trinidad and Tobago. Duncan no response for the Jamaicans. Duncan hands over first, and it's Jamaica in charge. Down the back straight away they go. The Bahamians responding now. Jamaica and Bahamas. Trinidad and Tobago with work to do. St. Kitts and Nevis going well in lane number 6. Latrice East on the third leg for the Jamaicans. Looks superb in 200, qualifying earlier today. Here's the final change. It's Jamaica in front. They are well clear of the rest of the field. Pashanali Blake is it an anchor. The Bahamas coming forward with Thomas. They will be second. Jamaica with the gold medal. Bahamas silver, and Trinidad and Tobago with a bombastic bronze.
Jamaica, as expected, living up to their seeding, coming through with the gold medal. And as we had expected, Kiesra Thomas on the anchor for the Bahamas produced a good anchor leg, but not quite to the class of the Jamaicans.
Trinidad and Tobago coming through to take bronze with Tiana Richardson on the anchor leg. But the Jamaicans with a fabulous team, led off by Malaya Duncan. Looks like Adora Campbell is on the second leg, Natrice East on third, and Pashanali Blake taking them home. The Bahamians with Kiesra Thomas coming through to claim silver, and the Trinidad and Tobago capturing the bronze medal. Here's another look at it. Duncan out brilliantly for Jamaica. Bahamas getting a pretty good start as well from Kylie Wallace. Adora Campbell, the 100 under 17 silver medalist, pouring it on for the Jamaicans down the backstretch. And this is where they really opened up the race with the fast Natrice East on the third leg. The Bahamians battling. The Trenbeconians were struggling for a long way in this race. So it's a terrific performance to be able to come through for the bronze medal. St. Kitts and Nevis had a fine performance as well. Final change, Trinidad and Tobago down in about 4th, 5th, but tearing through the field was Tiana Richardson to land them the bronze medal. There was no denying these Jamaicans, though. Just too strong for the rest. And even with the outstanding Kiezra Thomas on the anchor leg for the Bahamas, they stood no chance.
A lot of experience, of course, of paddle passing for these Jamaicans. Not all of the islands would have had as much time running relays. Jamaica 45.36. The Bahamas are 46.28. Trinidad and Tobago 47.49. Your top three with Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, British Virgin Islands, Bermuda, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. In that order, rounding out the finishers.
First gold medal of the games for those young ladies. The Bahamians celebrate a fine performance themselves. And great joy for Trinidad and Tobago, who are doing really well at the 2024 CARIFTA Games, building for 2025 when they will be the hosts.
Team manager Jehu Gordon did say that they're hoping to get a little bit closer to 40 medals this time around.
They will be looking for something massive on home turf next year, Trinidad and Tobago. But the moment belongs to Jamaica here. They start the 4x1s with victory. Teams being introduced for the 4x100 final for under 17 boys. Six teams. Listed for this one.
So I have the Jamaican team here with me, the under-17 girls relay winners. I will chat with Natrice. All four of them are here, though. Natrice, talk me through that one. What was the coach's instructions?
To run out hard and get the baton around safely, and we did just that.
Yeah, I know. At what point did you know that you had this race in the bag?
When I handed over the baton and saw that we were in first, so I know that we took it.
Oh, so you didn't know before that?
Yeah, I did, but to carry to the finish line was to make sure.
Were you satisfied with the start, though, that you all got?
Yes, I'm satisfied with every leg.
Yeah, and how does it feel to win a gold medal for Jamaica, of course?
Feels really good, you know, to represent your country, to make them proud and everybody else. So it's a good feeling.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks.
That's all right. Back to you guys.
Yeah, you saw the passing there from a couple of the teams, British Virgin Islands most notably, kind of running up on one another. But just consummate display of class and skill by the Jamaicans in moving that stick around the track.
Under 17 boys, 4x100 final coming up. The Jamaicans will have a cracking team again. Trinidad and Tobago should be well represented here. They have the 100 silver medalist Kadim Chinapo. Grenada will line up Cameron Macklin, expected to be on their team, the 400 silver medalist. Final of the under-17 boys, 4x100. First leg runners are out.
Jamaica, of course, the 100-meter champion boy.
2.644 Grenada. Kanik Nixon was in 200 semi-final action earlier. Wants to give his team a really good start as they try to snatch a medal in the under-17 boys 4x100. They do have a good team. Delron John is in the lineup as well, and as I said, Mathlin, 400 silver medalist, who is also in the 200 final and in with a shot of a medal. Mathlin expected to be on anchor. Trinidad and Tobago, they come out with some firepower as well. Cameron Powell is on the opening leg for them. He has a fine burst of speed, especially on the block, so expect them to get a fine start. Trinidad and Tobago, the record here, 40.76, set in 2009 by Jamaica. The crowd getting into this one, as you would expect, when the relays are on at the CARIFTA Games. Guyana, Turks and Caicos, British Virgin Islands, Grenada, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Bahamas.
No role for the Bahamas, we assume, given that he took no part in the 200 meters earlier.
Massive blow to the Bahamas. 160 leading off the British Virgin Islands, Maria Carter.
Guerrier for the Turks and Caicos Islands.
The British Virgin Islands have Tiandre Frick, 6th place finisher in the 100. He's also in the 200 final. He's on their team. Final of the under-17 boys, 4x100. The Jamaicans are favored in lane number 6. Saw the Jamaicans practicing a couple of days ahead of the event, and they had Byron Walker practicing the first leg. He's in the 200 final here. I haven't seen a good look as to who is on the opening leg for them, but I suspect it might be Walker. Set. Off they go. The Jamaicans up well with Walker. The change is clean to the 100 champion, Nyron Wade. The British Virgin Islands also flying. Trinidad and Tobago going well with Chinapo, the 100 silver medalist. The change is good for Trinidad and Tobago. The Jamaicans have work to do. O'Shane Jervis is on the third leg for them. Here comes the final change. Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. Malik Nugent, the 100 bronze medalist, chases and comes away now. It will be Jamaica's gold. Desperate finish for the Bahamas. But the Jamaicans have enough firepower to hold up the Trinbagonians in the 4x100 final. Terrific performance from Trinidad and Tobago, though. They gave the Jamaicans all they could handle.
Fine fight from Trinidad and Tobago, and passing not necessarily the cleanest all the way around, but good enough to get that second place, and good enough to really put a little bit of a scare into the Jamaicans going into the final leg.
41.53 for Trinidad and Tobago in second position.
Bahamian anchor falling across the line. Would have been interesting, I think, to see what the Bahamians would have been able to produce with Ishmael Rule in their lineup.
Definitely would have been The Bahamians still managed to get a bronze medal here, 42.30. And you have to believe that Ishmael Roll would have made a difference on that team. Here's another look at it. Terrific start for Trinidad and Tobago from Cameron Powell, Byron Walker. Running well for Jamaica as well. Jamaica with the 100 champion on the second leg. And Trinidad and Tobago with the 100 silver medalist Chinapo. Wade to O'Shane Jervis for the Jamaicans.
And here you see that last pass for the Trinidad and Tobago team. Not the cleanest at all. Lost a little bit of momentum there. Don't know that it would necessarily have made a difference to the ultimate result, but certainly they will rue the fact that they were not able to get the stick around cleanly, especially on that last pass, and perhaps put themselves in a better position to go for the gold.
Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago had a few options, I think. 41-34 Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago 41-53. Bahamas taking bronze, 42.30. British Virgin Islands fourth, 42-47. Guyana 43-68. Turks and Caicos 45-25. Grenada did not finish. The under-17s complete.
Introducing your field. Running out of lane number 1, Team Guyana.
The 17 boys, Nyron, you really shut up the back stretch. Talk to me about your run, the team's run entirely.
We weren't entirely prepared, but we just put everything in God's hands and we just come out and execute.
Yeah, of course. What were the instructions from the coach?
Just breathe, come out, and just do what we know what to do.
Malik, you got the baton with some work to do on the anchor leg. What was it like, though, running against the Trinidadians, and how much did they exert some energy out of you?
None. I was really soft, Soft.
Yeah, well, did you know that you came in here as a bronze medalist in the under-17 100? Did you think this team, this caliber of team that you put together, was always going to win this gold medal?
Yes, sir. We know we're going to win it, sir. I was very confident.
All right, well, congratulations to all of you. And let's get ready now for the under-20s. They have the relays coming up next.
That they do. Under 20 boys, a 4x100 final coming up after the under 20 girls 4x100 final.
Taking a while to introduce the ladies. Crowd enjoying some music. Coming down a little bit from that last boys 4x1. Exhilarating stuff. So I think we were supposed to have had a semi-final in this 4x1, the under 20 girls. So they've gone straight to the final.
Yeah, we'll figure out shortly which teams did not report earlier that allow them to send this event to a straight final. Under 20 girls 4x100 final. Let's have a look at the teams that will be taking part. The Trinidad and Tobago team making their way out. 42-58. The CARIFTA record set in 2022 by Jamaica. The Bahamian team stepping out. Oh, yeah. They'll want the changes to be as slick as that pose. Under 20 girls 4x100 final.
So we actually lost 3 teams from the semifinals. Guyana is not there, unfortunately. No Tiana Springer, no Narissa McPherson. They're going to be running the 4x4 mixed, hopefully a little bit later. We've got Antigua and Barbuda withdrawing as well, and Barbados.
So Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, British Virgin Islands, Grenada, Guadeloupe, and Martinique. The teams set to take part here. British Virgin Islands. Oh, wow, they would love to have a Deja Hodge now. That's Amia Todman for the BVI. Here's the lineup from the inside. Grenada, Martinique, British Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guadeloupe, and Bahamas. 7 teams going in this final.
And Todman on that third leg with Soleil Frederick.
Trinidad and Tobago team. They have the Frederick sisters, one would suppose. They also have Symphony Patrick to choose from.
Khadija Pickering, I think, maybe leading off for them.
Jamaica being led off by Habiba Harris, the 12.95 sprint hurdler, takes the opening leg for the Jamaicans. They are expected to have a fine team. Tiana Lee Terrelong, Sabrina Dockery, Shania Douglas possibly in their lineup as well. Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe will be in lane number 6. They have Alia Vanukia on the opening leg. Grenada with Rihanna Frederick leading off for them.
Stand. On your marks.
Final of the under 20 girls 4x100.
Set. Yeah.
Well, that went all wrong. Some athletes were in the set positions, getting back into their marks. Others were stuck on their mark. Pretty sure we're going to see a green card here.
Should do, I think.
It's the green card.
And yes, we do in fact get a green card. Starters acknowledge that there may have been an issue with the starts from their end. Symphony Patrick, you see on your screen there, will be leading off for Trinidad and Tobago. The Frederick twins will go second and third.
set.
Cleanly away this time for the 4x100 final for under 20 girls. Trinidad and Tobago up well with Symphony Patrick. Abiba Harris runs a good first leg for the Jamaicans as well. The Jamaicans change safe and first. Tiana Lee Terrelong, the 100 silver medalist, goes flying by Frederick. Jamaica ahead of Trinidad and Tobago. Here's the change for the Jamaicans. Soleil Frederick on the third leg for Trinidad and Tobago, but it's Jamaica with the advantage. This is where the battle is expected to be. Here's the final change. Jamaica ahead of TNT. Down the home stretch they come. Trinidad and Tobago trying to close, but the Jamaicans pull away through Shanoya Douglas. 43-61. Another terrific performance by the black, green, and gold. That's 3 in a row in the relays. They are on course for another sweep at the CARIFTA Games. They swept the 1500s yesterday, and they are very much on course in the 4x100s. Pickering taking home Trinidad and Tobago to a well-deserved silver medal.
Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, the ladies from the Bahamas in second and third. Trinidad and Tobago 44.43 seconds. Sanya Frederick not looking in the championship form that she displayed last year, certainly.
Thought it was Pickering on the ankle leg for TNT. It wasn't actually, as the Bahamians come through for bronze at 45.40. The Jamaicans celebrate gold. And they didn't have Sabrina Dockery, who won the 100 meters last night, defeating Tiana Lee Terrelong.
Still 200 to come tomorrow, so the bigger teams will be a little bit more mindful of using the depth of their relay squads. But a dominant performance by the Jamaican quartet, almost from the gun. Made the first pass first. Frederick, second best to Terrelong. And then just opening that lead from that point forward with the Jamaicans.
Never in doubt this one for Jamaica. Shanoya Douglas so good at 100, 200, and 400, tearing away on the anchor leg to bring the Jamaicans home. And once again, it's Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bahamas. They've been rotating Trinidad and Tobago and Bahamas for second and third, but the Jamaicans remain in the gold medal positions throughout these relays. 43-63 for Jamaica, 44-43 for Trinidad and Tobago, 45-40 for the Bahamas.
Goffin holding off Grenada for that fourth spot.
Here's Gerard Marsili.
Yeah, I have the girls, of course, who just won that race. And tell me about that race. What was the coach's instructions? Everybody wants to know what the coach would have told you.
The coach's instruction was just to go out there and execute it. We've been training, we've been practicing, and we just came out here and gave it our best.
Were you going after the record?
Yeah, we actually was, but didn't get it, but we still ran a magnificent time, and we're very grateful for that.
What does it feel like bringing home a gold medal for Jamaica once again?
It feels wonderful because being able to come out here and represent our country as juniors is a very huge opportunity, and we're very thankful for it.
Well, the boys are getting ready. Do you think they can make a sweep of these relays?
I do, definitely.
Yeah, and all of them are not in agreement, so we will see. Let's head back up now to Ricardo and Terry. The boys, 200, well, under 20, 4x1 is almost on the track. We'll be ready shortly.
4x1, of course, no Cayman Islands in this one. We do hope that we will see Guyana, but they are also going to be showing a great deal of interest, the Guyanese, in the upcoming mixed 4x4 100-meter relay open.
Yeah, by the way, it was Alexi Henry who was on the anchor leg for Trinidad and Tobago. Under 17 bronze medalist in the 100 meters last year, stepping up to the under 20s this year. Let's head back to Gerard.
Yeah, I got Caden Cartwright of the Bahamas here, the winner of the boys javelin under 20, 67.34 distance you threw. Are you happy with that result?
Very happy, you know. I wanted a little bit more, but you know, that's what God allowed me to do, so I'm content with that.
Yeah, one of the homeboys was giving you a run for your money, but you were able to outlast him. What is it like though having that kind of competition at the CARIFTA games?
Well, it was very exciting, you know. He did open up with a big throw, so you could have felt the tension between everybody, you know. But I just had to stay calm, you know, and just try outdo him.
Bahamas, another gold medal. You are the one supplying them with it. How do you feel about that?
Feel very good, you know. This is my second gold medal in a row from last year, so pretty proud, you know. Pretty proud of myself, you know, and let's give thanks to God.
Well done, Caden.
Thank you.
Back to you, Ricardo and Terry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gerard Marcidi. So, final of the under 20 boys, 4x100 coming up now on track as the Jamaican team takes to the track. By the way, just quickly, for the under 20 girls, the record, I'll get back to that shortly. The record 39.15 set in 2022 by Sandra Davis anchored Jamaica team. The Grenadians, they take center stage now. Final of the under 20 boys, 4x100 coming up.
Barbados in relay action.
I just wanted to make the point that the Trinidad and Tobago team for the 4x100, Symphony Patrick to the Frederick twins with Alexei Henry on anchor for Jamaica. They had on the opening leg Abiba Harris to Tiana Lee Terry Long, with on the third leg Brianna Campbell, the sprint hurdler, and Shania Douglas bringing it home. Here's the lineup for the under 20 boys 4x100. Guyana, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Jamaica, Bahamas, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados listed but not seeing them out on the track at the moment. Number of withdrawals for the Bajans today.
Guyana also absent, but Barbados was called by the meet announcer.
Grenada in the lineup. The Bahamians there as well. Antigua and Barbuda should have a fine team. They have a shot at a medal.
And Johnny Daly should be in there.
There's the Jamaicans with Siobhan Dunkley, the 100 bronze medalist, on lead-off. They have a lot of firepower, the Jamaicans.
Pinnock card to call on. St. Vincent and the Grenadines haven't been ever present in the relays, but they think they have a very good team this year. Timothy Williams, Keo Davis, Jamar Sanders, A.J. Del Pesh. See Trinidad and Tobago there. Should again figure among the medals with the likes of Wickham, Bayer, Chinapoo, and Woodruff. We try to confirm the participants for each of the teams. The Bahamas will have the likes of Carlos Brown, Eden Kelly.
Antigua and Barbuda. They will go in lane number 2. Dunkley leads off for the Jamaicans. Final of the under 20 boys, 4x100. The Jamaicans looking for a clean sweep. They are favored here.
Set.
Sent off. Bahamas out well. Brilliant start for Dunkley of Jamaica. The Jamaicans right upon the Bahamians. Trinidad and Tobago flying down the back straight away. But the Jamaicans going brilliantly. The Jamaicans, a slow change there with Raheem Pinnock on the second leg. Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada in a medal position. Bahamas there as well. This is a fine race that's on. Romaldo Smythe has the baton for Jamaica. This is going to be a close one. Trinidad and Tobago on the outside. The Trinidadians try to defeat the Jamaicans. The upset created. The Jamaicans denied the sweep by Trinidad and Tobago. A terrific performance.
Trinidad and Tobago don't often win relays at the CARIFTA Games, but when they do, they celebrate.
As they should. As they should. That's brilliant. Dylan Woodruff on the anchor leg for the Trinbagonians. 40.45. The Jamaican shot. 40.55. Johan Romaldo Smythe on the anchor leg. They didn't have Gary Card on the team, the Jamaicans.
Saving him for tomorrow.
Probably thought they had enough, but they didn't. What a performance from Grenada. Told you they were in with a shot of the medal. So too Antigua and Barbuda. But the Grenadians on home soil deliver in a big way to close this 4x100 series with a medal. The Bahamians out of it, I suspect. Carlos Brown wasn't on their team, and that was always going to be a big problem.
We see Chinapu there for the Trinidad and Tobago team.
I think he was on second.
They had the Sean Cole on there as well. Woodruff, as you said, on the anchor. Fantastic performance from them. Good performance too from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I made them out to be 4th or 5th when all was said and done.
Disappointing for the Jamaicans. The changes were not very good. That much I can tell you. Here's another look at the race. Jamaica in lane number 4, Bahamas in 5, Trinidad and Tobago outside in lane number 7. The Trinbagonians changing beautifully all the way through this race. Raheem Pinnock on the second leg for Jamaica. Change from first to second, sloppy. The Trinbagonians smooth all the way around. Grenada with a terrific run. Antigua and Barbuda never really got into this race the way I thought they would. And even here they had a shot at a medal. But Grenada coming through to take bronze. The Jamaicans outpaced by Trinidad and Tobago.
40.45 at the time for the quartet of Jay Wickham, Mikhail Bayer, Hakeem Chinapu, and Dylan Woodruff to take the gold here at the Kirani James Stadium, Jamaica. Dunkley Pinnock. It says Card is here on the list, but I don't see
he definitely
him
wasn't there.
he was not in the actual lineup.
The Jamaicans still waving their flags, and we still have one event to come to close this show. The mixed 4x4.
Confirmation there, Trinidad and Tobago, gold medalist, 40.45 seconds. Jamaica, 40.55 for the silver, and Grenada, fine bronze medal at home, 40.70, just holding off Antigua and Barbuda.
Well, we're going to have another cracking race in the mixed 4x4. That much I can tell you. Oh, they are not done celebrating yet, and they're going to celebrate deep into the night, and they deserve to. Trinidad and Tobago. I am surprised that the Trinidad and Tobago Sportsmax workers have been able to hold their cool. I'm surprised that we're not getting shaky shots after that.
That was indeed a thriller, with more fireworks still to come in our final event of the night.
Jehu Gordon dancing in the Trini party, world champion 2013, manager of this team. That was a terrific ambush from them. Great performance. That's why it's so important in sport, you know, that when you go out there to compete, you need to focus on what you need to do, not what anybody else has done or is expected to do. The Trinbagonians focused on themselves.
Trinbagonians with me right now. Let me talk to the young man who was on anchor leg. When you got the baton, you were slightly in front. All you had to do was push on. What was going through your mind at that point?
I knew my team put in the effort and put in the work. They've been training this whole year. So I just knew once I got the stick, all I have to do is keep in front and keep us going. And that's what I did.
Yeah, you always knew it was going to be a tough battle. This one, the under-20 boys, always a big race. But what really set Trinidad and Tobago apart from the rest of the field?
I would say our chemistry. We've been passing that stick, practicing. And that was what we did, and it worked. So that was our main objective, to get our stick fully around with no problems, and it happened. So we see what happens, we come first.
What is it like running in this team?
This team is a dream, honestly. Last year I missed it out, but this year I made sure to come back and show us what we had to do. I made sure to make our team proud and made Trinidad and Tobago proud.
Gold medal causing a slight upset. Of course, we never ruled out Trinidad and Tobago, but yeah, beating the Jamaicans, that must be really big and a big achievement for you.
It was great. It was, even though they might not have won, but it's still a fair game, and we beat them, but you know, they're still a great team, and we did our job this day. We won this time, so it's us.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, respect shown there. Tremendous battle, great rivalry. And the Trinidad and Tobago coming out on top this time around, and they fully deserve to do that. And he used the right word as well. Excellent interview, by the way. Chemistry. Clearly that was there for this Trinidad and Tobago team.
Crucial factor in the relay event, and particularly the sprint relay, where so much can go wrong as we get set for our final event of day 2, the mixed 4x4 relay.
Inaugurated at the 50th edition of the CARIFTA Games in the Bahamas last year. It was won by the home team. Let's see what will happen this time around. Get the feeling that some other teams will take it a lot more seriously than they did a year ago.
We know Bahamas come in here as the champions at the Commonwealth Youth Games, but that was under 18. They do, however, boast a couple of 400-meter champions, male and female, in the under-20 division here at the CARIFTA Games.
The medalists from last year, Bahamas, Grenada, and Jamaica, in that order. They're all back this time around. Shaphonia Houston, who was on the Grenada team a year ago, is expected to be on the team tonight as well. Pretty new team for the Bahamas. And I think we'll see a new lineup for Jamaica as well, but not lacking in quality for sure. Man, we're in for a finish. We are in for some finish. There's the lineup. Jamaica, Grenada, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda, Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia, and Guyana.
Two boys or two girls each team. I see Giolina Dowdy there.
Trinidad and Tobago. I see Keon John, Jaden Clement there as well. Maybe Deshaun Cole, who wasn't on the 4x1 team, ends up here in the mixed 4x4 for TNT. Turks and Caicos take a crack at this as well. So too St. Lucia. Guyanese team might be pretty good here. They have Narissa McPherson. I think Tiana Springer is out there as well. So this Guyana team, Austin, the 400 champion, might be in this lineup too. So yes, he is. They've put a lot into this. They've put a lot into this Guyana. This looks like the favorite team to me.
Springer is there. Austin is there. The two champions, McPherson is there, along with Carissa December.
Trinidad and Tobago. Mixed 4x4. Second time this event is being contested at the CARIFTA Games.
Very strong team from Guyana, the Bahamas, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago.
There's the Jamaican team. They have Princewell Martin, for her the silver medalist. Their lineup. Guyana definitely favorites though. They have a team that I can't see anyone else beating. Yes, Austin is saying, don't let out the secret. You talk too much.
Leg for leg, the Guyanese are going to be very, very hard to beat.
Sorting themselves out as they dance into the final event of day number 2 of the 51st CARIFTA Games from the Kirana James Athletic Stadium in St. George's, Grenada. A terrific day of competition we've had, closing out with the relays. Jamaica 3 from 4 in the sprint relays. Trinidad and Tobago taking the 4th in the under-20 boys 4x1s. Now the mixed 4x4 to close the show, and Guyana are favorites. Record 3 minutes 24.62. The Bahamian team of Javonia Valcourt, Lacarthia Cooper, Tamani Skinner, and Shamar Bain. This event was scheduled to go off at 7:25 local time. Meet 40 minutes behind the schedule. Grenada in the lineup. Can they get another medal?
Guyana ran 3:22.07 last year, with 3 of these 4 at the Commonwealth Youth Games. St. Kitts and Nevis were the only other Caribbean team taking part.
This event is perfect for a team like Guyana. Might not be able to find at the moment 4 girls to challenge for 4x4 gold or 4 boys to challenge for the male title. But they can find 2 of the best on the boys' side, 2 of the best on the girls' side to challenge.
Put them all together, you might get magic. You might get another gold at the CARIFTA Games. Grenada, not to be discounted, they were medalists last year.
Jamaica, Grenada, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda, Turks and Caicos Islands, St. Lucia, and Guyana. Elisha Williams will lead off the Grenada team. There is Princewell Martin of Jamaica, the 400-meter hurdles under 20 silver medalist. Ran his teammate Shamir Blake to the line.
Sir, let me take the mic. Open the mic for me. Open the mic for me.
Elisha Williams for Grenada.
The Bahamians looking to defend. Final event of day number 2 of the 51st CARIFTA Games. 3rd time this event is being held in Grenada. It's always a treat to be here.
Stand up, stand up.
Competitors being asked to stand.
The men in the inner lane.
What's the center of attention?
The men in the infield.
Ahead of the
men in
final event.
infield.
Preparing, I think, some space for the athletes when they've handed over their batons to ensure that they are not impeded as they come off the track.
On your marks.
Here we go. Second time we're seeing the mixed 4x4 being contested at CARIFTA.
Set.
And they are away. Antigua and Barbuda out well. They travel in lane number 5. This is a fine start for the Antiguans. On the outside as well, fabulous start for Guyana. They have Malachi Austin on this opening leg. And they want him to give them a big advantage. So 47 to win the under 20 boys 400 meters, 46.35. And Austin lifting down the home stretch. Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda also moving through. But it should be Guyana. Yes, Guyana ahead of Trinidad and Tobago. Grenada. Narissa McPherson with the baton for Guyana. And already they have established an healthy lead here as McPherson cuts across. This is a big lead for the Guyanese.
Yes, a very healthy lead at this stage, and they look absolutely unchallenged here on the second leg. Narissa McPherson.
The battle is really on for silver now, but still a long way to go in this race. They have Tiana Springer still to come. Jamaica stepping forward now as well, battling with Houston, I think, for Grenada. Jamaica and Grenada in an almighty battle for second. The Guyanese well clear. Grenada second. Jamaica third. Down the back stretch they go. All about Guyana. Trinidad and Tobago in the mix-up for a medal as well. Under 200 to go on this leg. Grenada chasing Guyana. Trinidad and Tobago in third. Jamaica in fourth position. Down the home stretch they come. Trinidad and Tobago in third position. Guyana will have Tiana Springer on the anchor leg. This is a terrific second leg. Third leg for Grenada. And Tiana Springer has the baton, and there is no female in this lineup that will get even close to her.
Tiana Springer taking command of the race at this stage, and she gets the baton in front, and that should be more than enough as she opens out the lead there for the Guyanese. Celebrates with her people. She's halfway through the race.
Yeah, already celebrating, and now she's going further and further away from the field. The battle is really on for silver and bronze here. Grenada in second. The Jamaicans in third. Trinidad and Tobago back in fourth. Tiana Springer turns into the straightaway and is well clear for Guyana. They are going to shatter the record here. It's 3:24, and Tiana Springer, even though she celebrated with 200 meters to go, flies across the line. Grenada takes silver, Jamaica bronze, Trinidad and Tobago fourth, Bahamas fifth. The Grenadians are going wild because they have another medal, back-to-back medals in the relays for the home team, as Guyana secure gold in the mixed 4x4. That was never in doubt.
So Tiana tapped her wrist as if to indicate disappointment in the time coming across, but she was pointing to the crowd and egging them on halfway through the final leg. So I don't think she was really running for time at that point. She picked it up thereafter. But a fine run by the Guyanese to take the final gold of day 2.
Great way to get the fans jumping and dancing. Silver medal for Grenada a year ago in the Bahamas. Silver medal for them this time around on home turf. The Jamaicans bronze a year ago in the Bahamas. They get bronze again. It's a party in the Spice Isle. That might be a little dangerous.
So Guyana 3:23.51, new record for the event here at the CARIFTA Games. Austin, McPherson, Nielsen Gill, and Tiana Springer, your quartets. And you see Springer just a couple of seconds prior to this, she would have been pointing into the crowd and asking them, you want to see something? And she shows them something. New CARIFTA record, recent record, but a new one nonetheless. Takes that down.
And she probably could have taken another second off the mark. Save something for next year. They'll all be back.
That's right.
They'll all be back, folks. The Guyanese mean business, and they're not done yet.
Pretty young, that Guyanese team, so they will be featuring once again, all things being equal, in 2025 in Trinidad and Tobago.
Can't wait.
But they put the cap on a brilliant day of athletics, some outstanding performances, CARIFTA records, personal records, some brave attempts at records as well.
Here's a record. 3:23.51 for Guyana, Grenada 3:29.19, Jamaica 3:30.42. The medalists: Trinidad and Tobago 3:31.24, Bahamas 3:31.49, St. Lucia 3:37.56 in sixth, Turks and Caicos 7th 3:40.29, Antigua and Barbuda after that fast start finishing in eighth 3:42.18. Terry, I sense you're really enjoying today.
Oh yes, today was another great day. As expected, we got a new record in the shot put. We got a new record as well in the 400 hurdles. Brilliant record. We're hoping that Michelle Smith would have been able to produce something truly special. She got the gold. Sense that she was not thrilled at not being able to get the record, but still an outstanding performance by her. A number of great battles in the field, a number of wonderful runs on the track. We saw Dimitri Myers getting whatever was up with him sorted out and getting back on track.
All right, let's head to Gerard Barcidi.
Yeah, I'm here with a very tired Guyanese team who just won the 4x4 mixed relay. And let me talk to Tiana. Tiana, you brought it home. Midway through the race, you were celebrating. Tell me about that experience.
I know we got this race because we look at last year's games and it's like, oh, we could go for the record. So this is what we work for.
Yeah, no, you've achieved the record. How happy are you with the performance overall?
It was great. Everybody did their part. And yeah.
Yeah, so now you can go celebrate with your countrymen, countrywomen. And again, just one final word though for Guyana bringing home this gold medal. You again bringing another one for them. How do you feel overall about the games itself?
The games was good. I came out and did what I had to do. And I'm bringing back gold, 2 golds actually for my country.
So congratulations to you and the rest of the team. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so that's it. The Guyanese team, the winners of the 4x4 mixed relay. And for the time being, let's take you back to Ricardo and Terry.
Yeah, thank you very much. Fans still enjoying themselves, even after the final race has long been completed. So much breathtaking action today.
4th gold medal for Guyana, to go with the 1 bronze, so they remain pretty high up the medal table.
3 of those gold medals coming yesterday, involving 2 of those who gave them the mixed 4x4 gold today. Austin winning the under-20 boys 400, Springer winning the under-20 girls 400, part of the mixed 4x4 team, and Athalia Hinkson winning the under-17 girls 100 meters, and she'll battle for the 200 title come tomorrow's final day, where the Guyanese are hoping for more gold medals. 3,000 meters open for girls. medal presentation. Atoya Harvey, her 5th CARIFTA medal, her 3rd in the 3,000 meters. The first time, though, that she's receiving bronze. Previous 2 editions, she had silver. Ashara Freitas produced an outstanding run. Good enough for silver tonight. Like she's played second fiddle all season to Kadeen Johnson. So it was on this regional stage. Lyndon Victor, World Championship decathlon bronze medalist, Commonwealth Games champion in the decathlon, handing over the medals as Kadeen Johnson, in one of the fastest times we've seen the history of the CARIFTA Games, just outside 10 minutes, was hoping she would go under 10, but still a stunning performance. Johnson from Freitas from Harvey, 2 from Jamaica, 1 from Guyana. It wasn't a close race, but we certainly did enjoy it. Each individual story unique, maybe none more unique than what's coming up here. Top 3 in the under 17 boys, 3,000 meters. A bronze medal for Trinidad and Tobago. 2 Trinbagonian athletes battled for the bronze. They switched positions throughout the course of the race. But when all was said and done, it was Isaiah Alder, the 16-year-old who came through in 9:29.35. Wendell Bade of Aruba, brave silver in the 1,500 meters yesterday. Another silver medal here at 3,000. And how about Demetra Mars, the star of the show in Nassau a year ago, caught the attention of the World Athletics President Lloyd Sebastian Coe with his 800, with his 1,500, 3,000 double. Shockingly, outside of the medals in the 1,500 this time around, but a day later he returned and produced another outstanding effort to defend his 3,000 title and win his 3rd CARIFTA gold medal, first for Belize here in Grenada.
This is the end of the final medal ceremony for the day. Thank you so much, Ms. Itana Wiggins, Executive Director of Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees, CANOM, Ms. Belinda Victor, 2-time Commonwealth Games champion and World Championship bronze medalist in the decathlon. And of course, we also have gathered us Minister Ferguson of the Belize. Thank you so much.
Well, so much field event action to catch you up on here on day number 2 of the 51st CARIFTA Games. Let's start with the high jump final for under 20 boys. A tie for the bronze medal. Shamar Davis and Bernard Kemp, the 2 Bahamians, could not be separated at 1.95 meters. Timothy Greenidge of Grenada cleared 3rd time at 2:05 to stay in the gold medal hunt. But ultimately, you couldn't keep up with this man. Chavez Penn, the 2022 under-17 champion, becoming the under-20 winner. 2:80 first cleared, and then 2.13 meters before calling it quits when he was ahead. Terrific performance for Chavez Penn. He'll have the triple jump for under 20 boys later in this championship. Javelin throw final for under 20 boys. James Addison of the Dominica taking the silver medal. Terrific performance here from Telesford of Grenada to take bronze. 65.54. Addison James of Dominica, 65.57 for the Grenadian, and Caden Cartwright of the Bahamas winning the gold medal, getting out in excess of 67 meters. Triple jump on the 17 boys. Davis of the Bahamas taking bronze. He was shy of silver by 2 centimeters, 14.16 for Damon Davis. Amani Phillips of Jamaica with a 14.18 effort, good enough for silver. And the Grenadians were going wild because of this man, Christophe Gallis, with 14.67. Terrific effort. Well, let's have a look at the medal table at the end of day number 2. Unsurprisingly, being led by Jamaica, 49 medals, 24 gold, 15 silver, and 10 bronze. Bahamas, 25 medals, 7 gold, 9 silver, 9 bronze. Guyana, brilliant, 4 gold and a bronze medal, 5 for them. Guadeloupe, 2 gold and a bronze. Trinidad and Tobago, 1 gold, coming in the 4x100 for under 20 boys, 6 silver, 8 bronze. They have 15. Grenada, almost in double figures. They're doing brilliantly with the triple jump on the 17 gold. That was their first. 9 medals for them, 4 silver and 4 bronze. Cayman Islands, 1 apiece. They have 3 medals. Antigua and Barbuda, 1 gold, 2 bronze medals. They too have 3. Belize, 1 gold, 1 bronze. U.S. Virgin Islands, 1 gold medal. That coming through Michelle Smith in the under 20 girls 400-meter hurdles. St. Kitts and Nevis, 3 silver medals for them. 2 of them today. Kanye in the 400-meter hurdles on the 17 boys, and also Jamard Huggins in the octathlon. Aruba with 2 silver medals coming from Barbados, 1 silver and 2 bronze. Martinique, Turks and Caicos, Bermuda, and Dominica, all with a bronze medal. 17 teams on the medal table after day number 2 of the 51st CARIFTA Games here in St. George's, Grenada. We'll leave it to Gerard Morris-Sealy to wrap up our day 2 coverage, as he'll need some rest for our octathlon challenge later on this week.
Yeah, well, that's all she wrote for day 2. 4 sessions completed. We have 1 more to go, and you will want to join us for that final session today. But before we get there and we say goodbye, what a wonderful day indeed it was. So many personal triumphs. We saw beautiful performances, almost as beautiful as Grenada. In fact, just as beautiful as Grenada. But we say goodbye for now, and we'll see you early on Monday, Easter Monday. What a better way to spend it than seeing the CARIFTA Games live on your home of champions. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you then.